What's poppin', everybody? I'm Mike.
And I'm Brian.
And welcome to another episode of Hoopin with Mike and Brian. It's great to be back in the studio. We're finally back in the studio today. We're back together. We're not apart.
Yeah.
We're not with our families, our crazy family.
Nah, yeah, man.
Speaking about mine, but you know, I don't know about yours, Brian, but mine.
Yeah, they're crazy. But it's good to be back, Michael. It's been, roughly a month since we've been in the studio because of break. It's good to be back, man. Beautiful place in Morgantown, West Virginia. No other place to be. It's great. It's great being back, man. I hope the holidays were great, man. And, I'm excited to see what's in store for the Hoopin podcast in 2023, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, hey, man, last time we posted was last year. We new year. Yeah, man. New pod. And we hope for big things. All right, if y'all hearing that, we just so figure things out. But hey, man, let's get a little personal. But I want to ask a question. How was your break?
Dude, break was great, man. Break was great. Spent time with the fam. Spent time with my friends from home. Got to give some shout outs. Shout out to Alex, Riley, NJ, Andre. I'm probably missing some people. All the boys. Spent a good time with the family. Went to a couple of my sister's basketball games, which was nice. Shout out to the Fordham women's basketball team. And it was just great being home, spending time with the fam. Kept it simple. What about you, Mike? Tell us how your break was, man.
So for me, man, responsibilities, man, becoming an adult, stinks.
You're old, man. You're old.
I don't like when you say that. But I just first week of break, I was still here in Morgantown working, just getting the bag, just trying to do things, be able to get the bag to get gifts for the family and stuff for the holidays. But then after that, was able to take myself and my cat back over to DC. So I will give a little shout out to my little boy back home, Jigsaw. But
I'm allergic to cats, Mike. But
I know. We talked about this.
Yeah.
I wish you could meet my guy Jigsaw. He's dope, man. He's so
dope.
cool. He's so cool. He's so cool. But same thing. Just got to be with family. Unfortunately, though, when I was I talked about this with you, but literally the first week or two while I was gone and the first week I was here for break, I was sick.
Oh yeah,
I was sick. I just sounded terrible. I'm pretty sure. Even the second to last podcast, the one with your father, with your dad, he even my dad listened to it and was like, "Dude, you sound sick." He's like, "You sound sick. You okay?"
Hey, still on the grind though, man.
But I was still on the grind. I didn't even care. I played with my little flu game.
Yeah, that's the flu game.
So
the real Mike, man. The real Mike.
The real Mike. Yeah. Well, please, real Mike, stand up. So But I had my own little flu thing, and I was still going out about. Probably shouldn't be doing that, especially nowadays how COVID.
All that good
stuff like that. But I was taking care of myself and still taking precautions and everything. So
man,
it was a good break. Got some good things for the holidays, and just got to spend time with my family. That's always the number one thing.
Yeah, man. So, that's all it's about, man. Excited to see what this episode's got in store for us, man.
Oh, I know we got a bit, man. We got a little bit. We've had we got a little bit to talk about because NBA.com just came out with some mid-season reports on Eastern Conference team, Western Conference teams, and then a media survey of just questions like who are the best teams right now, teams to make a second half run and after the All-Star break, who's most likely to win the NBA Finals at the moment. So we're going to have a live reaction to that, look into that.
Cool.
Talk about some players coming back from injuries and players that are back into injuries, which kind of stinks. Yeah. Or going into injury where teams are kind of, not figuring out, but they're at a point where we're doing so well. So to kind of start it off, the Nets, man. Yeah. The Nets they've been killing it recently.
Shout out to Jacques Vaughn. I believe that's how you say his name.
Yes, Jacques Vaughn.
I mean, look, he came in that tough situation where, we know Steve Nash left, but, Kyrie, that's when the Kyrie drama was happening. You didn't know what Kevin Durant still was. I know before the season there was those trade talks, and Ben Simmons, he's been a carousel, just a lot going on there. But look, he got the team. The last couple of weeks, maybe even the last couple of months, we haven't heard too much drama come from them, and as a result, they're winning. So I mean, I never thought Yeah, it wasn't going to be it was never the on the court stuff that would hold the Nets back. It was off the court in terms of making sure everyone's playing. Obviously, Kevin Durant, we'll talk about that later, but just got hurt. But got to give credit. It looks like the players really bought into that system, and it's just the guys are having fun out there. And as a result, they're I believe second or third. I believe they're third in the East right now.
No, they're actually second.
Second East, yeah.
They passed the Bucks. Bucks kind of been falling. Some teams have been not. Like, some top teams haven't been performing well.
Yeah, the Bucks' defense is not as good as I thought it would be. Like, I was a little surprised. When I'm watching the games, their defense just doesn't look like it has in the last couple of years. But, I mean, look, there's third in the East, so, like, I wouldn't, stress about it too much. But, hey, shout out to the Nets, man. Looks like but the thing is, what frustrates me a little bit is like everyone's so hard on Ben Simmons when things are going wrong, and when things are going right, they don't talk about him enough.
Don't want to talk. He's been performing well with them.
Yeah, and he's the type of guy who can guard the 1 through 5. He's a very valuable asset to that team. And maybe we'll have to just give him the respect here on this podcast. But I think it's the same. Obviously, Russ is my guy, Russell Westbrook. But it's the same with Russ. Like when Russ was struggling, everyone was tearing him down. Now he's helping. He's Sixth Man of the Year. Leading candidate, and no one talks about it enough. So, I got to give a shout out to those guys.
We could talk Russ, but Russ last 3-4 games is literally near triple doubles, more than 20 points a game. So,
coming off the bench, too.
Coming off the bench.
He bought into the role, man. He did what everyone was telling him to do, and he still doesn't get enough credit for it, I don't think. And I'll say it now, I think the Lakers are going to be a top 8 team in the West. So, but, going back, the Nets... shout out to the Nets, man. Things are looking good in Brooklyn right now.
No, I like it. I like the fact that the Nets are doing so well because of the fact that other players are stepping up. That guys, everyone. I mean, a while ago, when all that drama was going on, you had Kevin Durant talk about this is the team I have. What do you expect?
Yeah, he said how are you gonna win? He's basically saying, how am I gonna win with these guys?
With these guys, and they're winning now. So it sounds like, hey, man, he probably said that for a reason. Was just trying to amp some people up because this is a team full of not nobodies, but guys that nobody really cares about because obviously KD and Kyrie are on the team. So, but I want to give one guy major props is Nicholas Claxton. Man, putting on a Defensive Player of the Year right now,
and that's the thing. When they traded Jarrett Allen to Cleveland, I think that kind of showed that they thought Claxton's their guy going forward in terms of the big man, the rim protecting. He's averaging roughly almost a triple double, about 12 and 8. I'm sorry, double double. But yeah, I mean, he
leads the league in blocks too.
Yeah, in blocks. And that's the thing. It looks like they believe in him to be that guy because obviously Cleveland paying Jarrett Allen all that money, that big contract shows that Cleveland thinks that Jarrett Allen's their guy, and it shows that the Nets. Honestly, I'd rather have Jarrett Allen than Nick Claxton. All due respect, but hey, it's working out pretty well, man. He's been playing really well for them.
Yes, he has, and he's put on a great season so far for them, and I mean he's pretty much I want to say the third guy because I know there's another guy that's been performing pretty well. I think he had a really good game, but even Royce O'Neal's been performing well. TJ Warren came back, so he's been playing. They had this big lineup. I was just watching them the other day when they were playing the, I believe it was the Hornets. They were playing the Hornets.
Mm-hmm.
No, not the Hornets. The Pelicans. They were playing the Pelicans, and they had Kyrie, TJ Warren, Nick Claxton, KD, and Royce O'Neal. And that was almost a big kind of versatile lineup for them because they were trying to give the ball to T.J. Warren, who was getting guarded by Devontae Graham, who was barely 6 foot, and T.J. Warren's 6'6", 6'7". Yeah. So they were just literally trying to post him up, giving him the ball. So they have this one little scary lineup that I feel like they keep that going. Yeah. It's a pretty good team. I mean, they have those certain type of good role players. They have they don't.
Well, that's it. I thought they should play. The only thing I have to say, I thought they should play Cam Thomas more. He can really score the ball from LSU. I think the problem is he's a bit of a volume guy, and also he's not the greatest defender. But when there was that one game where they played, I think it was early in the season. A bunch of the Nets guys were out, and Cam Thomas dropped 36, I believe, something crazy like that.
Yeah.
And he's stepped up when they've needed him, and that's when I think Cam Thomas should get more of an opportunity. He could really score the ball effectively, very, very effectively. So, but that's the thing. The Nets already have a lot of guys who can score. Well, not a lot, but they have enough guys. When you have KD and Kyrie, you don't need a bunch of shoot first players. So he kind of has to build buy into that system. So
yeah, no, I really like how this team's performing, especially like where they're coming from, because obviously this team was this whole drama reality TV show type thing before, and now they're second in the East. They're pretty. I would argue top 5 teams in the NBA right now for sure.
Defensively, they're one of the best defensive teams.
And that's crazy to think, because it's just like people didn't really like. And this is why I think the trades worked out for them in the long run, because you get guys like Royce O'Neal, who was just technically a defender, like when he was on the Jazz.
Yeah,
you came in and you just defended.
Yeah,
T.J. Warren, they brought him in, which I kind of
we haven't heard about him since the bubble with Jimmy Butler.
Since the bubble, yeah, that's why T.J. Warren and I have a little bit of a problem. That dude.
He did
disrespect my guy Jimmy. Okay.
Yeah,
that was a little bit wrong.
Yeah,
but besides that, Nets are doing well, but they did have a little bit of a downfall. KD's out for possibly a month.
Yeah, I think that's going to show how legit this team is, though. If they can, they're not going to go undefeated the next month, but if they can win, go a little bit over 500, that shows Jack Vaughn is as good as a coach as he seems to be. This is the real test for them. Obviously, Kevin Durant's a top 3, top 5 player in the league right now. So when a player like that goes down, it's not, beneficial. But hey, it looks like all the players are bought in though to that system. So I think they'll be fine.
Oh yeah, no, I think they'll be perfectly fine. I like how the relationship is with Jacques Vaughn.
Yeah,
the players are actually really. I know right now Steve Nash is probably punching the air.
Yeah.
But I feel like the relationship that the players have with Jacques Vaughn, which has always been kind of thing with Jacques Vaughn. He's always been kind of like a player coach type of thing, like, do your thing. Like I'm pretty sure Steve Nash was kind of like, but sometimes when you have, the way I took it as, I don't want to say like it was an ego thing. Not an ego thing. It's just he was also an ex-NBA player, and he was a dang good one.
2-time MVP.
2-time MVP.
I got heat for saying he's better than Chris Paul all the time.
Yeah, you got a lot of heat for that.
Yeah, I did
you got a lot of heat, but then you did. But what's crazy is, even though you did make, I'm not gonna say it was a crazy take. I think it was a pretty interesting take. Because what's crazy is a lot of even kind of like going into that, people making the comments about that whole situation with that was pretty interesting with our podcast and everything, because it's just like, dang. Like, what, were you wrong, or is it just like, which I understood what point you were.
Yeah, I gave support. Like, I'm gonna stand by it. I mean, I gave reasoning as to why I put him there. It's just Chris Paul is not one of my favorite players, but that's not the reason I have him outside of the top 10. I just think that he's been on teams where I feel like if those other guys were on, like those Lob City teams, or even Houston, which obviously he got hurt that series when they were up against the Warriors. I don't know. I just think people be looking at it a lot differently. And he's been always a regular season guy, and come playoff time, he's got his team a couple playoff series, but he's never really been able to get past that hump. And I think we're seeing this year, I don't know if I'm just trying to base it off this year, but he's not really, like his window's closed as far as I'm concerned. Like the Suns are below 500 right now. Like,
I was actually just about to like literally slip that in. Literally, the Suns now, since the 8th, literally 2 days ago, they're 20-21.
So if you're Phoenix, you think would you blow it up?
I don't know about blow it.
Because you have your franchise guy in Booker. Ayton doesn't even want to be there. It doesn't even look like he wants to be there. And they just signed him to that massive deal for whatever reason.
They've lost 6 in a row.
They've lost 6 in a row. So like if you're Phoenix, like if I'm a franchise, right, and I pay a guy 110 million, I'm not paying a guy 110 million who doesn't want to be there. Like if he doesn't want to be there, trade him. Do what you ever got to do. It's not like, look, all due respect, it's not like DeAndre Ayton's a top 20 player, top 20, top 15 player in the league.
I don't even know if he's a top 5 big in the league.
I think DeAndre Ayton is very soft. Whenever I watch him play, it looks like he just kind of, whenever there's, if there's a guy who's 6'8", 6'9" guarding him, he'll be fine. But against like Embiid, Jokic, even like a guy like Robert Williams, like I don't see him. It just looks like he kind of shies away from that. And we saw with Game 7 last season with the Mavericks. He kind of just gave up on his team a little bit. Like, look, you're not playing. If your coach benches you, when you're a franchise cornerstone like him, like he was the number 1 overall pick. And the fact that he couldn't buy into, like, at least support his teammates in Game 7. I can't respect that. I really can't.
Here's my thing on DeAndre Ayton. I do not know what he expects from going to a new team.
Yeah.
Because Here's my thing. You get on this team, you get drafted high.
Yeah.
You're kind of focused on being like a good franchise piece for this team with Devin Booker, and then when they brought in Chris Paul, and then they had such that great season. But, like, no offense to DeAndre Ayton, dude. You performed very, very well last year. You got the contract maybe that you deserved and stuff like that. But you were the third fiddle. Mm-hmm. You're not number one.
Not.
You're not number two. I'm sorry, because first off, and that might not. And to be honest, I'm not even trying to say it like that. He's not good to be one or two, because I feel like the way he's performing right now, and you see CP3 kind of on the decline, because he's. I say it's just age, and it's just.
Yeah.
You know,
to be fair, CP's been great for a while, so.
CP's been great. Listen, if you guys want to hear my take on it, I think Chris Paul's top 10 NBA point guard of all time. Don't know where specific, because I have to really look into that, because you did really bring up, when you did talk about it, you did bring up some good really points, so I have to really think about it. Maybe top 5, I would have to look into that, but he's on the decline. DeAndre Ayton's literally a foot outside the door. Devin Booker's trying his hardest.
Booker's been great as far as I'm concerned.
Phenomenal, but for him, I just feel bad because his two other guys that are supposed to be, I guess, his other help, they're not doing anything. Because other than that, Cam Johnson's not having a great year.
Jay Crowder's not even playing.
Jay Crowder.
Bridges has been pretty solid, but like.
And you know what's crazy is we were talking about this in our earlier episodes where, like, when the Suns were doing good, it was like nothing, because like we were hearing more about like the behind the scenes drama, and now it's like they're not doing good. The behind the scenes drama really isn't there. Like it's kind of talked about, but then it's just like now no one cared. Now everyone's just like, oh, they're the Suns that we expect. Yeah, because of the fact that they have CP3, who's on the decline, which sucks to say because I think he's a great player, and then you have DeAndre Ayton, who's like, I don't want to be here no more. Which it's like. For me right now, the way this team looks right now, unless they make a huge change after the All-Star break and stuff like that.
But the thing is, honestly, if you're the Phoenix Suns, I don't know what you could even get rid of. Like, no offense, nobody's taking that Chris Paul contract where you're paying him like $35 million when he's going to be 40. Like, no one's going to take that contract on. And then Ayton. I wouldn't want DeAndre. Again, nothing against DeAndre Ayton, but I wouldn't. My franchise center can't be a guy who, when things aren't going his way, he wants to back out. He doesn't want to be there.
That's true.
And it could have been in Phoenix. It could have been in Atlanta. It could have been wherever.
Like, I wouldn't want any type of player like that.
Exactly.
Like, I don't even care if you're sitting at the end of the bench.
Yeah.
Like Udonis Haslem.
Yeah.
But like
I'm getting like, and it's hard to trade a guy when you pay him that much money. It's like not even like a full year he's been there for in terms of this new deal. But you can't have a guy there who on Game 7, the biggest game of arguably his career, up to date at that point, he shied away from it. Things weren't going well. He couldn't even support his teammates. Like I can't rock with that. And not to switch gears, but another team I wanted to talk about, kind of in Eastern Conference, going through a similar like problems as the Phoenix Suns are the Toronto Raptors. Sitting at 17 and 23. Siakam's been an All NBA player as far as I'm concerned. He's been great. Fred VanVleet, on the other hand. He's only averaging like 18 and a half a game, shooting 37% from the field.
Clip where he shot like this one shot, like beginning of the shot clock, they were bringing.
Yeah, I did see that.
And Gary Trent, literally right when he pulled, Trent just walked away.
Yeah.
Like he didn't even come back, and it was just like
he's shooting 32% from three. Like, why are you shooting that?
No, it's weird because I genuinely like Fred VanVleet.
Yeah. He's an NBA champion, man.
He's an NBA champion. He was one of those main guys when they were playing. Yeah. Kawhi was on the team, Siakam, and they were playing the Warriors, man. Fred VanVleet stepped up
big time.
Huge, man. Was hitting those little snatches, hitting the shot, and now he's like, dude, what are you doing?
That's the thing about Toronto. Look, I think Nick Nurse is one of the best coaches in the league, but also along with that, in the last 8 or 9 years, they've been one of the most consistent franchises. They've won in the Eastern Conference best 466 games since the start of the 2013-2014 season, and have made the playoffs 8 of 9 seasons. But as I was thinking about it, as like I watched the Raptors play, like seeing Siakam play, I think. Nothing against Siakam. Siakam's been great. But looking at the year they won that championship with Kawhi, I think Siakam has to be your second guy. He has to be playing second fiddle. Like, I just think if he's your number one option, again,
he was still young. I think that team. I think what was so crazy about that team was they were young still.
Yeah, no, they were.
They're still younger now. Yeah. But like they were all like what, maybe second, third years.
But also they did have veterans who bought into the roles like Ibaka, Gasol, Lowry, obviously.
Lowry was there.
But I think in terms of the Raptors, I honestly I would not trade Pascal. Like I know they're talking about getting rid of Siakam.
Keep that core.
I think maybe if you move anyone, probably Van Vliet. But look, Van Vliet's been.
They have what's his face? They have that Malachi Flynn guy.
Flynn. I think the other guy is Delano Banton.
And Banton,
he's really good.
too.
Like I've seen him. He does not play a lot. He probably gets roughly 10, 12 minutes a game. But the games he's been given, like 20 plus minutes, he's been putting up numbers. Like I said it in like one of the first episodes, even when we're on live air for the radio on every Wednesday night on the sports page. Be sure to check that out on U92 The Moose. He plays he plays very similar to LaMelo Ball. Like he's a tall guard.
You said that.
Gets to the rim, creates for teammates, but like he can just dunk on anybody. But I think they got to give those younger guys more minutes, because if Van Vliet's not working, look, you're shooting 18 points per game, 32% from three and 37% from the field is not going to cut it when you're the point guard for a franchise that's been very solid the last almost decade. So that's the thing. I think they kind of have to go back to what got them there. I'm not saying they're still in the championship hangover, but it looks like they're kind of like they just have to. They need a spark, I feel like, and they might have to involve getting rid of Van Vliet.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna want the big contract. Come on, I know they're talking about that, and I wouldn't trade him that much money. I wouldn't pay him that much money.
Yeah, especially right now how he's performing, I probably wouldn't pay him that money that he maybe feels like he deserves, which I understand from his maybe point of view, but like, dude, right now it's like it's bad because that's another thing. They're not performing well, and I just saw a video literally just last night where like Thaddeus Young and Scotty Barnes were
they were going at it. That's the thing.
It's not that they were going at it, like, but they were just like in each other's face, like they're like one, like I think it was Thaddeus Young was trying to say something to Scotty Barnes, and Scotty Barnes was kind of just like Like, I don't care.
That's the thing, yeah. I think the Raptors are really expecting Barnes to take a really big leap after that rookie year. And look, he's his second year in the league. Like, you can't expect him to be an All-NBA player his second year. But like, he's doing roughly the same stuff he's done rookie year, which is still good for the franchise, whatever. But I think they were really expecting Barnes to make that move to become like the guy behind Siakam a little bit and Van Vliet, and he just hasn't really done that. He's been solid, but I think they were expecting him to make a big jump that he just hasn't made. And as a result, sitting at 17 and 23, we saw with the Nets, we were beginning to see with the Lakers, like the season's been crazy in terms of teams going on runs. So like, I still think, look, they're still a playoff caliber team. I'm not sure where they'll finish at the end of the year, but they got the pieces to be successful in this league, and they got the coaching staff, I believe, and I think they have one of the best developmental programs in terms of like developing their players. Like Van Vliet was undrafted, like just all those guys, whatever. So I trust the Toronto Raptors as a organization to figure it out. Yeah. But as I said, I think if anything has to happen, I think they got to get rid of Van Vliet.
Oh yeah, I feel like they have a young enough team where they can get rid of Van Vliet and they could develop. Like, I just don't know where this team goes, where they feel like, yes, you were amongst the top of the East.
Yeah, but they're still a step behind. But
they're still a step behind because nothing against Pascal. I think he's a great player, and I think he's like their star guy.
Yeah. But
for him to be your star guy shows that you guys they're still on the young end. They still need to build, because then you have guys like OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes. You even have guys that are coming off the bench like Precious Achiuwa.
They have Gary Trent too.
They have Gary Trent. They have Malachi Flynn. They have Chris Boucher.
Shout out to Ron Harper Jr., by the way, too.
Ron Harper Jr. They have, they picked up a good veteran in Otto Porter Jr. who won up NBA Finals. Yeah. And then they have Christian Coloco, who's another big man from Arizona, who's actually...
Boucher, too.
Yeah, Boucher. Christian Coloco. They have Wancho. They have Bo Cruz.
Bo Cruz, yeah.
Bo Cruz. And then they have Batten. So it's like they have a team that can move forward. It's just... No offense to all my Toronto, Raptor fans, or all my Canadians up in the north, but for me, the way I take it is this team probably could be between, I would say, 6, 7, 8
I'm thinking that, because like just
6, 7, 8.
Looking at the Eastern Conference, they're not better than Boston, not better than Brooklyn, not better than Milwaukee, not better than Cleveland, not better than Philly. I don't think they're better than Miami either. I think Miami's going to figure it out.
No. Right now, oh my gosh, I don't get it.
I think come playoff time, though, the Heat, Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get
I
into
think
that.
they're more like I was a little I'm a little disappointed in the Hawks. I think they're kind of near that, like in that
they're
area.
Weird.
But like as we just said, there's and I would take the Pacers over them right now.
Definitely.
Hands down. And look, the Knicks, I don't want it to be my bias, but this season, respectively, the Knicks obviously are playing better. But like, I think they're kind of like on the outside looking in. Like I don't see them. I don't see them in any world finishing a top 6 seed in the East.
Oh no.
Maybe they can fight for that 6th spot, but I don't see that happening. I think they should be a playing team, but like even like all the they're
most definitely playing. I feel like 100% playing, like nothing else. Like because if we expect them to be 6, 7, 8, we know for sure they could be 9, 10. Even though, definitely a playing team is just I don't know where.
They
because then
that out.
they get rid of Van Fleet. Maybe they get. I mean, because what does this team really need? Because they have. I mean, they have the guard play and OG and Gary Trent.
But this is the thing. Also, I think I'm not saying I do not think they should trade OG, but OG's trade value is probably as high now as it's ever going to get. So if they wanted to blow, I think they got to keep OG. I think he's a very important player to that franchise. But
I say he's pretty much. If he develops a good offensive game, he's almost my second fiddle behind Pascal.
That's the thing.
Scotty Barnes being.
I think he's like a mini Kawhi. Like
he's
that.
Good,
that's the guy. I like. He's not Kawhi Leonard, but that's the guy. I think that's his ceiling. Like he could be one of the. Right now he's probably one of the best 3-and-D players. Like two-way players. Like he can score, but he can defend anybody. Like he's very, very fun to watch. And then Michael, not to completely shift gears, but I was watching the Rockets play the other day. I forgot who they were playing against, but Mike, it was very, very frustrating. I'm not a fan of that backcourt, Jalen Green and Kevin Porter. There was like a couple possessions where it's just they ISO it. They're trying to get a shot off. They can't get the shot off, so they pass and the other guy just ISOs it. It's like it's not fun to watch. And I'll continue saying it. I think in 5 years I don't see that backcourt being together.
Probably not. They'll probably keep.
I think they keep Green.
Keep
probably.
Green, and they'll probably get rid of Kevin.
I don't see that. It was kind of painful to watch. Like I think
it's painful to watch, but what do you expect from this team? This team
that's true.
Literally,
But I don't think you're going to develop your players that way.
That's true.
That's why
true.
I just because like that's the thing. Obviously on the Rockets, Jalen Green and Kevin Porter, they might have to do that. They might have to take those bad shots and dribble all that. But like if they ever want to win, that's not how they're going to win. Like Kobe Bryant said it best, like the way James Harden plays, which I'm not comparing them to James Harden, but like that isolation basketball where it's like you dribble a million times and then shoot it or just pass at the last second, that's not going to win you championships. No. Obviously the Rockets are very, very far from getting to a championship, but I can't see exactly. I don't see that backcourt lasting very long. I don't know I don't know how many more years it's going to take them to be the worst team in the West until they realize that it's not going to work. Obviously this year maybe they're going for Victor, which I'm sure they are, but that I'm just not a fan of that backcourt at all.
So here's my thing. I feel like the way they're playing right now with this backcourt, and I agree it does look ugly. For me, I feel like this backcourt could possibly stay together because of the fact, like, what I see from that is that I feel like the reason why that is, like, not like it's allowed, but the reason why, for me, why they do that is because I feel like they don't have other guys where they can kind of give it off. Like Sengun's pretty good in the post, but like they don't probably give him the ball enough, which they probably should. But like everyone else on the team, I mean, like Jabari Smith he's in his rookie year.
Yeah,
so it's like
he's been up and down,
He's up and down, but like he's had some good promises.
Yeah.
Because then I look at this roster. I mean, Eric Gordon wants to get out of there.
I don't know what they're waiting for.
Yeah, he needs to get out of there. Put him on a team that.
It's the contract again. I think teams don't want to take up that $20 million deal.
Yeah,
but
I mean, he's 34. He's 14 years.
But I think he'd be a good player for a team that's trying to win a championship. Like
exactly.
I would take that, but
but he's dwelling on a team that's literally the worst team in the
NBA
right now.
Exactly. So that's the thing. I mean, you're sitting at 10-30. Obviously this season's they're not really going anywhere. But like,
I feel like they're just trying to. The reason why it just looks so ugly when they play is just, I feel like they're just trying to figure out.
Yeah, they're probably trying to. That's fair.
Because they have so many. Oof, sorry about that.
No,
Excuse me. But the thing for me is the fact that like you have your probably two main scorers in Kevin Porter and Jalen, and then you have a bunch of other people that kind of like, not that they just sit around,
but they're working around that.
They're working around that, and it's like maybe those guys aren't good compliment. Maybe Sengun's a good compliment, but like who are the other two guys that are on the floor with Jalen and Kevin Porter?
Yeah,
like who else do you have? Because then if you have Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, and like Eric Gordon to have like more scoring volume, those are three small guards on the defensive end. You guys are gonna get killed.
But that's the thing. Also, when I see them play this backcourt, honestly, I think of when the Rockets had Russ and Harden. Like, obviously, again, they're not Russ and Harden, but I just think of like the way,
just like whoever.
Yeah, they kind of just like kind of do their own thing. It's kind of and then everyone else just works around that, and you're just not gonna win. You're not gonna win like that. And obviously, they're young, so they have a lot of growing to do. But I don't see that. That's what I see. That's me. I don't know if that's what the Rockets are trying to go for. You know, respectively their own separate players. But that's kind of what I'm picturing. That's what I think when I see them play. It's like it gives me those vibes that when Russ and Harden were in Houston, like obviously their talent is going to win them games, but come playoff time, you're not going to beat teams dribbling 45 times, passing it, and then someone jacking up a three. It's just not going to happen.
That's true. No, I agree. I mean, it's just hard. I mean, if they're tanking, I mean, I think it'll be a good thing for them because then, I mean, it would be weird though. Like they tank, they get the number one pick, and they get Wembanyama because then it's just like
another ball dominant player.
Another ball dominant player. I mean, unless he's good. I mean, I watched a couple games. I've been watching a couple clips of Victor Wembanyama recently because I mean, obviously he's just.
Something we've never seen.
Something we've never seen before. 7'4", could dribble, literally shooting off 1 foot 3-pointers and over there in the and is it? No, I don't even think it's the French league, right? I think
he's in France.
The French league. He's not the Euro league.
Yeah.
And dude, the dude is. It's like, oh my god, it's like watching. Remember when you used to play like 2K back in the day and you'd make like a creative player, you freaking max out all his stats and make him as tall as you could?
Yeah, it's literally that, yeah.
That's literally what it is how I'm looking at French League because it's just like this dude is dribbling all over the place. He's hitting threes from Mars. Like, it's just like...
I saw you had that game winner the other day. What was the putback dunk? Like, no one's going to stop you.
Literally, he just caught
Doesn't even jump.
Barely even jumped and just... I was just like... That was clutch, but I was like, dude, there was nobody else that was like... remotely close to your height that couldn't even stop you. So it was just like he's gonna kill it. I mean, when he comes to the NBA, he's probably gonna feel like, oh, it's more open because that's another thing. A lot of like, especially even recently with talks about like Wembanyama and all that stuff. And I like to bring this attention because I just brought up the Euro League, but to talk about what I was just saying was like the difference in play.
Yeah.
Like even how well he's been performing recently. You know what Luka said? When he was talking, when they asked him about, like, have you been watching games and how do you feel about, like, especially like recently, all these players that are dropping like crazy points, like 40, 50, 70, and stuff like that. And he's like, I watch, a couple NBA games, but he's like, I watch the Euro League more.
Oh yeah.
How do you have one of your best players watching the Euro League more than the NBA?
Yeah. His literally it's legit his own competition.
His own competition. He's watching people over there in the Euro League, and he says I've heard a couple. Like a good couple, like players that have come overseas that have performed very well in the NBA say the EuroLeague's like better.
It's a lot different too.
Like, it's a lot different.
And also they don't have that defensive 3-second violation.
Defensive, like they say it's more defensive in the EuroLeague more than the.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Like that also reminds me. I'm still like kind of interested to see what's going on with like the Timberwolves. Like obviously with Cat going down. Like dude, Gobert's not even top 10 in blocks this year. So you traded a million first-round picks. All your role players for a guy who's supposed to be a defensive staple for your team, and at 7 foot, whatever he is, 7 feet, 7'1", whatever, he's not even top 10 in blocks. That's literally his job to block shots, and he's not even top 10.
Yeah, no, it's bad for that situation. Even talking about it, it's so funny that you bring up Rudy Gobert because now when I think of Rudy Gobert and how bad he's performing, I think of that one video where Victor Wembanyama was like 16-year-olds killing him one-on-one.
Well, I saw this one clip. Gobert got the rebound and went coast to coast and just missed the layup. You're 7 feet tall. Like, why are you even going coast to coast in the first place? But how do you miss a layup? A wide open layup. when you're 7 feet tall. You only have to jump to dunk.
This is a joke, but I'm pretty sure he's scared about Wembanyama coming to the league because he's taking that French status away from him.
You're not wrong.
Like, he's definitely gonna come take that status away from Rudy Gobert,
Yeah.
the Eiffel, whatever they call him, the Eiffels, Eiffel Stifle. So I forgot the nickname for him.
Yeah.
When he was the Jazz, because obviously he's French and France and Paris. But the joke is that like he's scared that Wembanyama is gonna come take all his fame as being one of the French guys, and he's gonna be killing it. But I don't know what it is going on with Rudy Gobert. The Timberwolves are good. I mean, they're not good not really good this year like how they were before.
Yeah.
Like, recently they've been pretty good. Like they've won 4 straight, but the last 10 they're 4-6. So they probably won their 4 first games.
Yeah, I just feel like if you make that trade, obviously it's going to take time to, make it mesh all together. But, like, literally, Cat's out, so Gobert should be stepping up, and it looks like he's taking a step back, which is a little ironic.
But what do you step? I mean, but that's the thing. Cat goes down. That's one of your scorers. Rudy Gobert's not a scorer. How does he even step up? You step up on the defensive end. That's great.
But I feel like he's taking a step down, defensively.
He's definitely taking a step back.
I don't know. And there's not much you can do. You just traded. Like, you don't have any first-round picks for the foreseeable future. No. I don't know, man.
Yeah, no. It's a very weird thing right now with the Timberwolves, and because they were obviously like the story of the summer, crazy trade. They get Rudy Gobert. They make all those trades. That ruins the KD trade or the possible talks with KD and stuff like that. It put the whole league where it was just like, can we make trades like this, or can we do another trade like this? Does anybody else deserve a trade like this? Like, it's weird, and to be honest, I kind of make it seem like it's like that one kid in class that makes all the noise, and then the teacher takes away from everybody.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like Rudy Gobert is right now. He's that one kid that's in the class that just ruins it for everybody, and just like he's just there. Like I don't know what to say about Rudy Gobert anymore, because it's just like it is what it is. But like, do something, dude. Like, because that team is supposed to be a good team. That team is supposed to be Rudy Gobert, Cat, Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell, like
Nas Reed,
like even Nas Reed's been performing well.
Yeah,
like,
he's been good.
Put him in instead of Rudy Gobert. Like what in the world?
He stretches the floor. I don't get it, man.
It's weird. But to kind of go back, I want to kind of go back on something that I was just talking about, because recently, and I'm at the end of this because I'm a Heat fan, there's been some missed calls, and I'm done with it. I'm so sick and done.
That reminds me of the West Virginia game the other night against Kansas.
But Kansas whipped them though.
But, okay, I'll say quick, but not to go completely off topic. I was at the game, obviously, but so there was a play at the end of the first half. So I'm sitting all the way in like the nosebleeds, but like I see, you can see at the Coliseum, you can see everything clear. Okay. So the ref, we're going to our basket. We're trying to score our way. So we make a pass. The ref is right in front of us. We make the pass. The Kansas player clearly tips it. So the one ref right by the play says West Virginia basketball, as it should be, and the ref on the other side of the court comes over and reverses the call. How is the ref from the other side of the court reversing a call that other ref? That's literally his job to make that call, and it was so. They showed the replay; it was so obvious, and then they went and like scored. I'm like, okay, this is how this game's going. But it just has Tanner Lambert. Kansas always gets those calls, man. It's frustrating. But Mike, I'll let you take it from here. Speak your mind, man. Speak your mind.
No. And that's fine. You see, it happens even in college. But the thing that I brought up with the EuroLeague, because I'm sick and tired of these. Because even as a fan, not just even being a Heat fan and seeing these close games, like against the Nets, that was a missed call for Jimmy.
Yeah.
That was a missed call. He got contact on the way. Like, where's the call? I know they're probably calling that, earlier in the game, but you're not like. Because I can understand, because I guess people could be like, oh, well, it's the end of the game. Let them play. But it's just like, dude, you're missing calls.
Yeah, totally.
You're not making the call. Like, this is not like you're costing games. You're costing players. Like, because then the reason why I brought up the EuroLeague, and this was such an interesting thing. I read this on Twitter, and this is a real thing. This whole, because now even the NFL does it, the NBA does it. This little 2-minute report after the game where they're like, oh, the ref missed this call, missed this call. I don't want to hear after a game.
Like what does it do?
What does that do?
Like people
still lost.
Discrediting Donovan Mitchell's 71 points because they didn't call that free throw violation, because then he would have finished with 56 points. But like, you can't change it. Like, the game's over. So it's like, just make the call right and no questions asked. But it's frustrating because I get that, because You know, it happened earlier in the season with the Kings. We talked about it. Like the next day the NBA rules it a foul, but it doesn't change the win. Doesn't change the loss. It's like
the game's over.
The game's over. So I don't I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
It's weird, but here's the thing that I brought this up with somebody in class the other day or yesterday for first day of classes. I brought this up. The Euro League does the 2-minute type of report like they do, but what they do is if there's a I think it's just in general. If ref misses calls and it comes out in the 2-minute report or whatever report they do, after game report, ref report, whatever they do, whatever they call it, they do this thing where if there's refs that miss calls, they suspend the refs.
That's how it should be. The refs never get
They suspend the refs.
The refs should be getting post-game press conferences, man. Because they're always asking players about the refs. Like, why don't you ask the refs about the refs, man?
That is so.
Because like sometimes like I actually want to know what the ref was like. If the ref just says I made a mistake, that's fine. But I want to see like how I don't want to say arrogant these guys are, but like I think they should give the refs a post game press conference because sometimes they make such calls that actually like cost teams games. And a lot of time, you know, it's a couple call or two
years ago. I think it was the early 2000s or in the 90s. You had that scandal, that cheating scandal.
Yeah.
That one ref that was
Donahue, Tim Dunn, something like that.
He was betting on games. And
yeah,
he was pretty much reffing the game so he
can make money
and stuff like
frustrating.
So it's just like, how is and this is even bringing it more to the attention that this fact like. If our best players are over here paying attention, like I'm just saying, I'm not saying in general, like I'm not saying the EuroLeague is better than the NBA. I don't think that. But like the fact is, we've heard recent from players, guys that played overseas and come over here. They're like, oh, they talk about the EuroLeague being so good and so competitive, and then it's even like, even when it comes down to the paper stuff, they're doing that good in the EuroLeague. Yeah. They're suspending.
That's how
they're suspending refs that needed to be.
Like they don't get held accountable. They really don't.
Refs?
Or at least like. That's the thing. You gotta like, you gotta at least question the refs. You know, it just does. Some of them like genuinely like, look, everyone makes mistakes, but like some calls are just, it's so blatant that like they're just. I don't know if they're trying to mess with the game. I don't know what the objective is here, but it's frustrating because a lot of times the teams do get screwed, and I'm sure you know it happened to the Heat, happens to the Kings, happens to the Knicks.
I was upset, but just to even segue, we could start. I mean. There needs to be some type of change. Is all I'm calling for because this whole ref thing, it's almost like it's repetitive now at this point. It's like almost every.
Like the refs are trying to make them bigger than the game. Like it's I don't. It's too much about the refs. It's like just make.
There was another game. It was the Kings' close game, and De'Aaron Fox was upset.
Oh yeah, it was against the Lakers.
Yes, and he was upset. Like he was like trying to get in the refs' face. It's just like. Like you can't have this. Like, is this what we're like? Is this what it is now?
Is the norm?
It's the norm now. Like this is what people are classifying the NBA. Oh, it's just a bunch of players getting in the face of the refs. But it's just like, can you blame them? Like the refs aren't even making good calls anyways either. So it's like
they're professionals too. I don't get it, man.
Yeah. So it stinks. But I mean, the segue into this, like talking about the Heat, man. I'll talk about my team, but
yeah, go for it.
That game was good against the Nets. I'm very upset at that call because Jimmy deserved it, and like it was just like that was so blatant. Like the contact was even going up, going down. Like come on, dude. Like no contact call, whatever. But I will say I'm very upset at the Heat for the possession before because Kyrie shot pretty much a hash, almost logo shot, literally with time left.
Yeah.
And just shot it, and we missed a defensive rebound.
Yeah.
Which I was very upset about.
Those come back to bite you.
What are you doing? Yeah, because then it did. Because then it was Royce O'Neal picked it up, just put it up real quick. Like it was literally like a fumble tip from all the Heat players and Nets player, and then not TJ Warren, but Royce O'Neal grabs it, just throws it up, puts a little runner right there, and just throws it up, gets it in, and then we lose by one because then Jimmy Butler gets the ball. Goes right past his defender, goes up, and all that stuff happens. But I mean,
I don't get it, man.
I don't know what was going on. I'm upset at my Heat for not getting that rebound because if we would have got that rebound, it would have been done. We would have gone to the free throw line. Someone would have got fouled. We would have made free throws. We would have won, and we would have beaten the Nets. And I would have been proud. I would have been here preaching Heat are better than the Nets. I'm just kidding. But to even just talk about the Heat, I mean, we've been doing good. Yeah, we haven't been doing bad. Like I feel like we've been doing great, but it's just the same occurring thing happens. It's just like tonight, we have 4 of our 5 starters out. So it's just it's the same thing over and over again where it's just like we're just hurt. Like we don't like Haywood Highsmith is starting tonight.
I saw that.
Our guy that we picked up from like the G League, Orlando Robinson, is starting tonight. Like, we don't even have our starting five. So like that's been like the main kind of identity of the Heat right now is just like we've just been hurt. Like nobody's been 100%. Like our team has literally been at like stationary. I would say 75% our team has been this whole season. Like it's just been there, right there. Like we'd be like, oh, we got Victor Oladipo back, we got them, but they're like, oh no, Jimmy just blew everyone out. Bam just went out. Lowry just went out. It's just like, whoa. Like
can't catch a break, man.
Can't catch a break, and I hate it, but I mean, what am I supposed to do? Like I want our guys to be fully rested because I know. Because
Spo will have you guys ready, man.
Spo will have us ready, and I know all of our guys. It's not even the fact that Spo will have us ready. The players will be ready. Like that's the
you got championship experience, man.
Foundation. Like I know for a fact we get to the playoffs 100%. We are one of the scary teams to play because it's just like you play against us, and like people obviously doubt us because we don't have, and I'm putting this in air quotation, nobody can see this, but we don't have anybody on our team. We don't have a superstar on our team.
I guess Jimmy Butler's not a superstar.
Because Jimmy Butler's not a superstar, and then especially how Bam's been performing recently, he's not a superstar or whatever. But it just stinks that, as a Heat fan, seeing all this is just like, dang, we just can't catch a break. Everyone's just hurt. Someone's going down, and people might think on the other side, oh, well, are they taking care of themselves? Are they not, like... But we are. We just because that's another thing. I think it's a little bit of a how can I say this? Not devil's advocate. When you play hard, sometimes you get hit hard. Sometimes when you play hard, you're jumping on the floor, and that's what it's all about in the Heat organization. We're all about just relentless, just nonstop. Don't stop. Just keep going. Go, go, go. Doesn't matter if you're, when Deion Waiters came and he said, I would rather go 0 for 30. Like it was just always being aggressive. Do not settle. Do not just trickle down. Do not do that. Freaking go and do your thing. And that sometimes costs you because then when you're trying your hardest, you're aggressive, you're jumping after loose balls, you're trying to defend everybody because that's the thing, our defense is literally everybody switches in a way. And we're just funneling, switching everything. So guys are just probably it's just a little much on the body where guys are going down, but it stinks because then it started with Tyler Hero going down, then Jimmy Butler went down, Kyle Lowry went down, then bam. And it's just like, oh my gosh. And they were performing so well. Tyler Hero started becoming this role where he's becoming, he's getting rebounds, he's facilitating. Then Bam was starting to become the superstar that we want him to be. Jimmy Butler is doing Jimmy Butler things. Victor Oladipo came back. And then what's crazy, Victor Oladipo came back and had 25 just the other day. And he goes down. I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is wrong? Like I'm just like I'm looking up in the sky. I'm like, God, man, what's going on? What are we doing? I need something. But if this is what it is right now, where we're hurt doing things, I'm fine with where we're at. I wish we could be higher in the league right now in the standings because I believe we're 8. We're right behind the Knicks. I don't know why we're still hanging around the Knicks.
Hey, don't disrespect, man. Don't disrespect.
But yeah, I mean, we're still around there, like. See, and I was talking about, my little takes where I'm talking, I think near All-Star break. And that's when we're doing well near All-Star break. I think we would be, 4 or 5 in the East. But now we're still hurt. I'm just like, I'm not believing it anymore. I think at best, we'll just take the 7th seed from you guys, from the Knicks. I'm sorry. That's all I'm going to say. I think best right now, with the way we're performing and the way guys are right now on the Heat, just getting hurt and just, it stinks.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to expect with this team. I feel like right now I'm just waiting for that second half to start.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that All-Star break to happen and second
half
to start.
Get that rest
because I feel like that's what we need the most.
Yeah.
And I hope Jimmy, Bam, they get their All-Star recognition. Oh, I would say more not Jimmy, even though Jimmy right now is number 5 in the All-Star voting, and I think as I'm actually gonna pull that up, but he's actually what they came out with the list, and the first All-Star returning, I think Jimmy Butler was number 5 in the front court for the East.
Wow, yeah, I know the fan vote was getting a lot of hate.
Oh yeah,
because they had like Wiggins up there. No disrespect, they had like 4 Warriors players. I'm like, your team's barely 500. You know?
Yeah, let's. I mean, talk about your Knicks, man.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we gotta after you talk about your Knicks, we gotta get into this all because first fan returns. Because I don't know what in the world
I didn't understand
this
it either.
world is thinking.
But the Knicks obviously, we're sitting at we're sitting at 22-19. So like I'm pretty content with that. As I've said in recent years, the Knicks are always, the Knicks are always good enough to not get a top 10 not get a top 5 pick, but they're bad enough to make any noise in the playoffs. I was watching the Knicks game last night against the Bucks. I mean, Jalen Brunson did everything he could to get us that win. Had 44-7 and 4, and then like the last 5 games he's been going crazy. 44, 26, 38, 24, 23. So he's been doing his thing. And then Randall again last night. I believe he was like I have to refresh my memory on what he shot from the field. But I'm not very happy with Julius Randle. Like, he puts up numbers, but I just don't see him. I really don't see him. I see that translating to wins. It's frustrating because we pay him that money. He puts up the numbers. Like, he's still 25 and 16, but it's like I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm missing something. But when I watch Randle play, I don't see us going very far with him being our guy.
So. Sorry to cut you off, because that's the thing. So this Hoops Twitter page posted this thing, and I guess it was via Brett Usher, an NBA insider and podcaster, reported that after last night's game, Julius Randle is the only second player in NBA history to shoot 9 or more 3-point attempts in a half and not score a single one.
That's the thing. I'm actually very glad you brought that up because I was going to forget. He spends way, way too much time on the perimeter. He's so much better when he's in the paint, using his body, getting to the rim, kind of like how Zion plays a little bit. Mm-hmm. But he spends there's so many times I see him shooting 6 threes, 7 threes, 8 threes, 9 threes. You're not a 3-point shooter. You're not. You might make 2. You might shoot 2 for 6, 3 for 7, but you are at your best when you are in the paint. And the Knicks, we might not be the best 3-point team in the league, but we have shooters. We have Fournier. We have Quentin Grimes. We have Quickly. Brunson can shoot the ball. R.J. Barrett's been he's been hurt, so I don't want to get too much into that. He's not the best shooter in the world, but he has a nice mid range. He can get to the rim. You don't even have to be shooting threes on this team. It's not like he's on the Rockets. It's like where he has to be taking these shots. Like, I don't know why he spends so much time on the perimeter. I don't know if that's the coaching. I don't know, his pride. I don't know, but it's got to stop. This team we're not winning playoff series with Randle taking 9 threes. It's just not going to happen. No. But as I said, I don't want to be too negative. I mean, we're sitting at 22-19, as you said. I mean, Randall's still putting up 24 and 10, but I honestly, keep it frank, I don't care about the numbers. I really don't. In terms of Julius Randle, I just want to see him contribute a win. I want to see him take that step back in the terms of not having to take all the shots, not having to take threes. Like, you're not a 3-point shooter, Julius. I'm sorry, you're not. Like, he's shooting roughly 8 threes a game. That's ridiculous. He's leading the team in 3-point shots. That shouldn't happen. I'm sorry. He should not be leading the team in 3-point shots. He should not be. He should not be leading. He should not be taking 8 threes a game. I don't even know if he should be taking 3 threes a game. It's frustrating because then you don't play guys like Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish is out of the rotation. One of our best 3-point shooters, but he's not even in the rotation, and that just means more threes for Randle, and it's frustrating. Like, I don't know, man. That's my problem with Randle. We're not going to win with Randle shooting 9 threes. I'm going to keep saying it. That's not going to happen. But outside of that, I don't want to be too negative. But
I wouldn't be too negative because I'm actually looking at StatMuse right now, and they posted a thing not even a day ago about Julius Randle's last 10 games. He's averaged 31 points a game, 13 rebounds, and about 5 assists.
Yeah, but that's the numbers are great. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't. I don't see
see that in the game.
I don't see that. Like, I've watched almost probably at least tuned in to probably about 90% of the Knicks games this year. I don't even think I can count on one hand how many times I was like, wow, Julius Randle's really taking over this game. Really the reason we won down the stretch. I don't. Because come crunch time, I think he wants to be that guy. And I've seen it so many times this year. It happened against the Bulls earlier in the season. We played the Bulls a bunch of times. It happened like twice against the Bulls. it's close towards the end of the game. He just forces up a bad shot. Just let the game come to you. You're a talented player. You can score. You can score the ball, but taking fadeaway contested long twos is not the way to go. Shooting 9 threes a game, not the way to go. So I don't know, man. I maybe I got to look closer into these games, but I don't see that contributing to winning at all. And to be fair, he's doing a lot of good things for this team. He got us at a 4 seed a couple seasons ago. This year, he's a big part of what we're doing. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of actually taking that next step as a team and really make noise in the playoffs, Randall can't be. He's gonna have to sacrifice his game a little bit.
Jalen Brunson, man.
Brunson's been killing it. I love Brunson, man.
Definitely
he's been
out for you guys.
He's been that floor general. He's been scoring the ball. He doesn't really take many bad shots either. And then obviously we said RJ's hurt, but RJ stepped up prior to his injury. He's the thing. His efficiency is a bit of a problem. He's not very consistent. He's had games on Christmas Day. He was awful, but 2 nights before he dropped 44 on the Bulls. So he's just been inconsistent. Quickly's good. I have a problem with his shot selection sometimes, and I've said it before. But I think they could play Quickly even a little bit more. Like he can really score the ball, but I think he's just got to sometimes relax. He takes some bad threes every now and then, but he's one of our better shooters. And then Grimes, ever since Grimes came into play, we've been playing better as a team. And other than that, Toppin, Mitchell Robinson, they've been fine. I don't know what our plan is for Derrick Rose. Like I think we should I think only fair to Derrick Rose. If we're not going to play him, we should trade him. It's like he has a million
championship team. That'd be cool.
Yeah, exactly. He has a million miles on him because he's been in career for a while, been playing a lot. I just think they owe it to him. I don't know if they owe it to him, but he's just gotta. I think they gotta move on from him. And then shout out to Miles McBride.
Votes.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Shout out to Miles McBride, West Virginia alum.
Yep. Well, they played the Bucks, him and Javon Carter.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was awesome.
Brought a tear to my eye, man. And then other than that, Jericho Sims didn't play last night. I don't know why. But
I
yeah,
actually did a franchise on NBA 2K. I drafted Jericho Sims as my third string center behind Bam.
I like Sims, man. He's really he brings a lot of energy. He can jump through the roof. He just doesn't play a lot.
I remember watching him, and he was a good player. I mean, he came in, had the hustle in him. So
yeah. Same with Toppin. Toppin does similar stuff. Toppin, I think he's been hurt a little bit here and there, but I think they got to give him more of a chance when he comes back. But other than that, 22-19, I'm happy with where we're at. We'll see what happens down the stretch. The Eastern Conference is really close, so I think some teams are gonna move up, some teams are gonna move down. But hopefully, I hope we're a top 6 seed.
It's very close in both conferences.
Yeah,
because it's only a couple games. Like it's crazy that the Warriors, when they went on their run, they started winning. Like when they were out without Curry, they started winning. They jumped up to I think 4 or 5 in the West, and then they started losing. They dropped right back down. So it was just a
5-game win streak or losing streak can really change. The Jazz are not even in the play-in right now.
No, they're not.
They're sitting at the 11. I said it before. I think the Lakers are going to make the playoffs. I think AD's coming back. They're playing better basketball. I think the Lakers will make the playoffs.
I might say some crazy stuff about them.
Take it, Mike.
They might make it to the Western Conference Finals.
You think?
They have LeBron.
They do.
They have LeBron, and LeBron's still performing well, and they're starting to perform well, and it's starting to go on like a trend that they're going upward. Yes, they can probably have the worst second half and go back to where they're at, and it's okay, cool, they went bad. But mark my words, when you have a team that's going up on this trend, they're starting to figure out, and you have players like LeBron, AD, and Russell in the playoffs. It's pretty scary.
Yeah, no, totally.
Pretty scary.
I'm
not. But just to get this wrong, so nobody goes crazy about it. I'm not saying for sure. I think they can
You're saying, yeah.
They're not a for sure West because certain matchups if they play the Nuggets maybe because the Nuggets right now are actually are number 1 in the East.
Yeah, the Nuggets are 1. Yeah, them and the Grizzlies.
Them and the Grizzlies. So matchup wise, Nuggets, Grizzlies, and Pelicans, I would say they probably don't.
Zion is out though. But I'm gonna stick with it. I still think the Pelicans will make the Western Conference Finals.
Oh no, that's fine.
Yeah.
But the reason why I say that I feel like if the Lakers make the playoffs and they have to play the Pelicans, it's just experience.
Oh no, I don't disagree with that.
That's why I feel like what they would have over them because then it's just
Yeah, and you don't want to match up with LeBron in a 7-game. You don't.
Exactly. I think that
a healthy
that's
AD.
the number one.
I think if AD's healthy, I totally agree in the fact that they can make a run to the Western Conference Finals if AD's healthy. But obviously you can't really count on that yet just because he hasn't been healthy. But I'm gonna stick with it. If Zion's healthy, I think the Pelicans will make the Western Conference Finals. I want to get your opinion on something, Michael, but I see people are not hating on John Morant, but like people think he's a little too confident. Yeah, I saw him say that he's not afraid of anybody in the West, which I respect that. But what do you think about Ja doing that and players having a problem with it? Do you like it? Do you not like it?
I like it because I know, because I was about to say some dumb stuff like where I come from, but like just more on the fact that like I like the competitive trash talk when it comes to that because I think the Memphis Grizzlies are trying to really emphasize on that, which is good, but it's kind of
it's getting a little ridiculous.
It gets a little ridiculous.
I just think he can't be talking smack to like the war. Like as far as I'm concerned, that Warriors Grizzlies, that's not a rivalry because the Grizzlies haven't beat the Warriors. Like it's just
they haven't.
And if the Grizzlies consider Steph Curry's coming back tonight, as we said earlier before we got on here. But like, if the Grizzlies match up with the Warriors in the playoffs,
yeah, I don't know how that
would end for the Grizzlies.
I mean, just for me, it's we hear you bark in Memphis, but it's
but what have they done? Like they made what the Western? They made it to the semis.
But here's the thing, it's not that it's. I think it's cool that they're doing all this stuff and they feel confident, and that's great. But just like I said, they're barking, but you're barking up the wrong tree.
You don't, because that's the 4-time champions, man. Don't get Curry going.
No.
Well, we saw it on the midseason report, but the GMs think that the Warriors are most poised to make a second half run, which I completely agree with. But I'm just don't poke the bear, man. Don't poke the bear because if you get Curry going, man. And Clay dropped 52 the other night or whatever it was. I don't remember exactly, but
I just think we were almost writing him off earlier.
Yeah, but that's the thing, man.
So that's one thing I low-key hate about it, but I actually respect it about the Warriors. You do not want to write them off.
No.
Do not write them off. Do not get
all it takes if they get to that top 6 seed, which as of now they're sitting at the 6th seed. Mm-hmm. If they finish there, like if right now if the playoffs ended right now, they would be playing the Pelicans, which I don't know how that would end. I'm gonna stick with it. The Pelicans are making the Western Conference Finals.
If they play Warriors first round, no, Brian.
Hey, I'm just saying, if the Grizzlies get matched up with the Clippers, though, too, I don't even know if they would beat the Clippers with a healthy Kawhi and PG. I don't even know if they could beat the Clippers. I think they should beat the Clippers. I don't know if they would.
I think they beat the Clippers
with a PG and Kawhi. If Kawhi's healthy, I'm taking the Clippers. If Kawhi's healthy,
but not PG.
But I'm saying if they have Kawhi and PG both. No, I'm saying if they have both of them because PG's been healthy the last couple of games. If Kawhi and PG are both at 100% playoff time,
but weren't they both at 100% the last 2 playoffs?
Well, yeah, no, I still
didn't perform at all.
I think they'll beat the Grizzlies.
I think Kawhi did, but Paul. That's another thing. Playoff P is not playoff P. He's George Paul in the playoffs, and I'm taking that away from. I'm taking the
Clippers over, but like I'm taking the Clippers over the Grizzlies in a 7-game series.
I disagree.
We'll see though.
But we'll see. We will see. I disagree with that, but that's just because I just feel like the Grizzlies recently, when it comes to playoff performance, Grizzlies have performed better than the Clippers. But that's just because
that's true. No, yeah, but again,
somehow the Clippers don't know what happens when it goes to the playoffs.
As you said, I'm not trying to contradict anything, but obviously, as we say, the Lakers meet up with the Pelicans. Experience is a difference, and Kawhi does have that experience. Paul George has been in the playoffs multiple times throughout his career. And to be fair, the Grizzlies did get that experience last year, but Kawhi does have a championship. And honestly, I don't know if the Grizzlies have anyone who could stop Kawhi and PG. I think the Grizzlies. I don't know if the Grizzlies could stop Ja, but they do have 2 of the best 2-way players in the league when healthy.
That's true.
I think it'll be a good matchup. I'm all for it, but. I think the Clippers are poised to make a run as
well. These are definitely good matchups that we're seeing.
Yeah.
It's just,
Kings Mavericks, that would be fun too.
That would be.
I think. I mean, Luka might put up 60 every game,
the
but
Kings make it to the playoffs. I'll be so happy.
I hope. I really do too. But
would
it's tight, man. So the 10 seed is only 2 games behind them.
It's tight, but they're winning.
They're winning, but all it takes is 1 5-game losing streak. I'm not saying they will go on a 5-game win streak because they've been very consistent so far. But that's all it takes. So you're seeing it with the Jazz. You're seeing it with You're seeing it with the Trailblazers on a bit of a skid. So you're seeing with these teams like 3-game skids changing where you are. So I think it's really going to come down to those last 2-3 weeks of the season where teams are going to get matched up. I think we'll see I think the Nuggets, Grizzlies, Pelicans. I think the Nuggets and Grizzlies will definitely be on top. I'm hoping the Pelicans will stay there, but other than that, I think the Warriors are going to move up. It's going to be close, man. It's going to be. I hope the Kings stay out of the play-in because if they get in the play-in, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like if you're 7-8 though, I don't know. I do understand the fact that the Clippers would definitely give a good run or even beat the Grizzlies in a 7-game series. I definitely understand it. Definitely understand. I don't know if I would take them over the Grizzlies just because I love Ja, I love Brandon Clark. I just like that Grizzlies team. In general, I just like the Grizzlies team. I've always genuinely liked the Grizzlies organization because I used to love watching when Mike Conley was on
Zebo.
Rudy Gobert, Zebo, Marc Gasol,
Tony Allen.
I've always genuinely
Courtney Lee on those teams too? I think
Courtney
a couple
Lee.
Years.
Whoa, that was a hell. Courtney Lee. Wow,
he played for Boston. He was a journeyman
for the
a little bit. Yeah, man. We don't talk about that.
He played for the Knicks for a little bit.
But it's crazy, man. Like this. Maybe we say this every year. I don't really know, but this year's playoff run is going to be very.
It's gonna be
come down to the
interesting.
last.
I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna see a lot of we're gonna see some new teams in the playoffs. We're not gonna see the same old. We're gonna have some same old. I will say that.
I think we'll see. This is the year of the Pelicans, because last year they made a run for the Suns. They put them to 6 as the 1 seed when I believe Phoenix was the 1 seed. Mm-hmm. So I think this is the year we're gonna see what the Pelicans are made of. If I hope Zion's healthy. But yeah, man.
Did the Pacers make the playoffs last year? I don't think they did.
They didn't because they had the 6th pick and took Benedict.
Okay, yeah. See, so we're about to see a couple teams that are new to the playoffs this year.
East, dude, Cleveland, man. That's okay. I actually want to take a second, Michael, and apologize to you. I gotta apologize, man. I'm gonna say this like a man, Michael. Again, it's only 40 games into the season, whatever. But I was wrong about the Donovan Mitchell trade, man. I was wrong. I think I underestimated. I think I focused too much on what he wasn't good at. Not good at, but what he was lacking in defensively, and kind of took away what he can do offensively. He just put up 71, so that goes without saying. But Mike, man,
60% from the field.
I thought I did say it on the radio. The one thing that I thought would help Donovan Mitchell is he doesn't have to be an insane 2-way player because they have one of the best front courts in the league defensively with Jarrett Allen and Mobley. Dude, and I think defensively they are the best team. Defensively I think they're top. They're definitely a top 3 defensive team right now in the league. And with the Bucks struggling a little bit, man. I still your prediction of the Cavs going to the finals isn't very far fetched. I owe it to you, Michael. I say it live on the Hoopin podcast. I'm sorry about what I was saying about Donovan Mitchell. Right now, he is probably the best shooting guard in the league.
Whoa.
Along with Shea.
Shay's not a shooting guard. He's point guard.
Oh, I mean, I guess he's. Well, I don't know. I think he's more of a point guard. Because isn't Giddey the point guard?
Giddey's like a point forward.
All right. Well, anyways, but then I will. I think Mitchell.
We don't know what positions are.
Yeah, it's positionless. So it's
positionless. So it doesn't even matter.
Luka's a point guard. He's a small forward. He's also a center. Not really.
Yeah. Here, let's look at. I'm gonna look at this the All-Star thing because I think they classify him as a guard.
Just a guard.
Just a guard.
Honestly, okay. Well, so maybe that guard wise, Mitchell is easily top 5 this year, hands down.
Top 5. I know.
As a guard,
I definitely agree.
I got to give it to him, man. The Cleveland, because I thought Sexton was. Sexton is a great defender as a point guard, and I thought I didn't understand what the Cavs were doing in the sense where you're taking a guy who's much better offensively, but defensively. But also the Cavs don't need Mitchell to be that guy defensively. He can't be a traffic cone just the people drive past him. But even if he does, he has 2 7-foot guys in the paint ready to block shots.
You just funnel. You pretty much play like a Heat type of defense with the Cavs team. I'm not trying to be oh, it's my Heat, but we funnel a lot towards the paint. So shoot, the Cavs are doing that. You're funneling to Evan
But that's
Mobley,
yeah.
Jarrett Allen.
I was also very critical of his efficiency, but he's been very efficient this year.
Very efficient.
So Mike, I'll say it again. I hope you accept my apology, man.
Of course, I accept your apology. Man.
Of course, man.
Just wish it was sooner. And I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I had to. Once I saw the 71,
I'm
man.
glad he was able to prove it to you.
Oh no, he proved it, man. I'm rooting for Cleveland. I hope. I like Cleveland. I like Cleveland. Garland. Is Garland still hurt? I don't know if Garland's hurt anymore.
I believe he was.
He's been hurt.
That 71, Garland was hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
I
celebrating.
don't know. Again, I think when Garland comes back, I don't think it's gonna be that big of an adjustment because Garland's he's like a pass first guard. Like he can score the ball, but I think he knows Mitchell's the guy offensively. So.
They still have a good bench though too, which is great.
Yeah, I think if
you
Cleveland,
Harris LeVert coming off the bench and
yeah,
Isaac Okoro,
yeah, all the Kevin Love,
like.
But I think again, it just is not assuming, but say if playoffs finish the way the seedings are right now, if they match up with Philly, I'd probably take them over Philly. I would definitely take them over Philly.
I'd probably take them over Philly too.
Yeah. And then if they played Boston, so that would be a fun series to watch.
Ooh, Cavs and Boston.
That would probably be a 7 game series. I don't even know who would win. I mean, Boston's probably the favorite, but you can't oversee Cleveland, man. The top 5 seeds, I think those would be the top 5 seeds at the end of the season. I think maybe throw Miami in there somewhere. I think Miami's going to figure it out.
I say so. I don't know, because especially how the Pacers are playing.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
the Knicks too, man.
Knicks too. I mean, to be honest, I don't know. We might just fight for the 7th. I don't know.
If I'm the Knicks.
Because honestly, I'm not going to lie to you, Brian. I'm talking this against my team and your team. Those 6 teams that are ahead of them are better than our teams.
Like right now, no, definitely.
Right now.
And the Knicks.
No, I'm saying.
Oh, then
For us, so 7 and 8, I think those 6 teams are before the Knicks and the
No, yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
I say Pacers, Sixers, Cavaliers, Bucks, Nets, and Celtics right now are better than the Knicks.
No, yeah. Definitely the first 5. I think the Pacers. I could be the bias in me. I think we're better than the Pacers. I think we're better than the Pacers.
I'm giving you a look. You think you're better than the Pacers?
I think the Knicks are better than the Pacers.
Why do you think? I need to hear that. Why do you think you're better than the Pacers?
Okay, well, first, I got to give credit to the Pacers. Halliburton. Halliburton's doing crazy things. Same with Mathurin, I'm sorry. And obviously they have the big guy, Miles Turner. They have Buddy Hield. They have a bunch of guys. Nemhard, the rookie. I think that was a steal of the draft.
Duarte.
I just think we match up well with them. We got Mitchell Robinson. We got depth. This year. We got players off the bench. We got Miles McBride. I think the only thing is, as I've said, I've been critical. Tibbs likes to overplay players. Like he likes to play Miles McBride 48 minutes off the bench for not 48 minutes, but like 40 minutes off the bench. I don't get it. I think in the 7 game series, if we played the Pacers 7 game series, I think the Knicks would win it. Let me hear you. What do you think? What do the Pacers have that the Knicks don't, and vice versa?
I think it's the other way. I think it's just the Knicks lack just like overall, because I mean, you guys don't get a lot. Like, you don't know what you're gonna get on a nightly basis with RJ and Julius. Like, you don't really know.
Well, you're gonna get 9 threes from Julius.
I guess. But I don't know if that's gonna work in your favor.
Oh no, I think also. I mean, the Pacers are young.
The Pacers are young. I definitely say you guys have the experience. I mean, especially with like Jalen Brunson, like. If it's close games, I would say maybe Jalen Brunson helps you guys a lot, especially in close games. Like, you'll definitely, like, be able to make those shots and be able to be put in that position. But, like, I feel like if it's not close games, like, if it's supposed to be a blowout, I'd take the Pacers blowing you guys out because it's just, like, their team is more meshed. They're investing in with this team. You have Halliburton, you have Buddy Hield, and what's crazy is Halliburton's barely been on the news recently. I mean, he's still playing well, but Buddy Hield's been playing very, very well.
One of the best shooters in the league.
No, yeah. It's just like if everyone, I'm not saying like obviously if everyone's on board, they're gonna do good but then yet again, if I say the Knicks are all on board, then they're gonna do good. Mm-hmm. But there's just for me the reason why I picked the Pacers over the Knicks is because there's too much inconsistency.
That's fair.
Side.
No, I see what you're saying with that.
Because that's one thing. One thing I will say about the Knicks, yes, there's good players. You guys have your guys. You guys have the depth. But I will say this. Jalen Brunson doesn't go off, you guys don't win. Or if he doesn't do something where like he contributes the most out of the game. Because I genuinely haven't seen a game with the Knicks where like Jalen Brunson didn't put his mark on the
I get that. But I think you could say the same thing about Halliburton. We've seen games where Halliburton's He's a young player, obviously, but we've seen game where Halliburton was a non-factor, and I think respectively, it's like they both have to just play very well. Obviously, Halliburton. I'm taking Halliburton any day over Brunson. I think Halliburton's a better overall player. I think it's close, but I would take Halliburton over Brunson. But like, I think if they match up in a 7-game series, it's going to come down to as you said, who's ever more consistent. And the Knicks do have more of a history of being inconsistent. But I think the way RJ's been playing, I think he's been playing better. Obviously, he's hurt now, so prior to the injury. But yeah, no, I would take us over the Pacers. That would be a fun series to see. Obviously, the way things are looking, we're probably not going to see them in the playoffs. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying with that, man. But I would take the Knicks. That could be the bias in me, man. It probably is the bias in me, but that's what I gotta say with that.
No, I get it. That's fair. I understand. I mean,
Yeah.
Going forward, we'll see. A lot of this is just we'll see, especially we don't even know, especially how close it is in the Eastern and Western Conference. We don't know.
Yeah.
Like, how close it is, you never know. Like, what? So you have the Kings that are at 21 wins, Golden State's at 20. Just like the Thunder at 18 wins.
Yeah,
so, like, if they go on a crazy streak, don't even lose games, they could shoot up.
Yeah.
You have on the Eastern side, I think it's just from the Bulls and up.
Yeah, the Bulls have been struggling. I mean, they've been up and down. Levine's been picking it up.
They've been the team letting everybody score 500.
Yeah. Do you see the other night the Hornets put up 84 against the Bucks?
Yes. They put 51 in a quarter.
Yeah.
In the first
I don't know what's crazy. Well, 51. No, that's not an NBA record. I believe that was an NBA record. The Hornets have been the bottom 3 teams in the league.
I know they stink.
And they put up 84 against last year's top defensive team.
I mean, it's crazy that they have kind of like a little bit of the same team from last year, and they did well last year. I think they made the playoffs last year.
The
right?
Hornets, they made the play-in. They were the 10th seed. They got blown out in the.
They lost.
Did they play? I'm trying to think who they played. I know the Hawks played the Cavs in the play-in, and then I don't know who they got matched up with. Maybe it was Indiana.
Maybe it was.
It might. I don't know who it was, but yeah, man.
Yeah.
They also had Miles Bridges last year too, who was a big part of that team.
That's true. But I mean, we don't know. A lot of this is we'll see, and we still got to go into the All-Star break and see how teams come out of that, because usually the All-Star break does come in handy. Teams come out there.
Yeah,
just
they need that
on
break.
Fire,
for sure.
For the break. Especially as a Heat fan, we need the break. So
yeah.
Hurry up, February.
Yeah.
But I mean, right now the league is still like it's at a good point. I mean, we're still the Celtics are still performing. The Nuggets now, I mean, that's a new face of the West, because obviously it was for a minute it was like the Suns were still on top. You had the Grizzlies still winning, the Pelicans were winning, and they were on top, and now you have the Nuggets just kind of seeping in there. But with the Nuggets being that, we might have a three-peat of the MVP this year. Maybe.
I wanted to bring it up. So, looking at Jokic recently, obviously he's the best player on the best team in the West right now, 27-13.
Dude, you can argue he's the best player in the world.
100%. And he's first in PER, so player efficiency rating. Mm-hmm. He's first in win shares. He's averaging more assists this season than both of his MVP seasons. He's shooting better at just below 62% from the field than both MVP seasons. He has the best plus-minus of any player this season. Obviously, Caldwell Pope he's shooting 47% from 3. I'm not saying this is because of Jokic, but him coming to the Nuggets, his career average is 36%, so it's up 11%. Obviously, playing with Jokic helps that, but I think that shows that Jokic makes his teammates better. And also, not that this is the reason. Jokic is 100% the reason, but Aaron Gordon also leads the league in dunks, and a lot of that's coming off of Jokic assists. And he also has the highest assists per game in the season, highest assists per game in a season ever by a center.
He did.
So, right now, so if he keeps it up. But, I mean, based on that, I mean, he's the best player on the best team in the NBA, putting up those crazy numbers, and he's better than both MVP seasons, how could he not get this third? I think voters' fatigue might play a factor. I hope it doesn't. That's not really fair. But that's all. If Jokic, say Jokic gets his MVP, right? Again, it's been a crazy season.
I don't know who's ever won 3 in a row.
Yeah, I think maybe Kareem did. Maybe did LeBron win one too? I don't know.
No, LeBron
did not. But if Jokic gets 3 MVPs, he's already has a Hall of Fame career. I don't like where I don't know like what else he could do.
I think you're pretty much. I mean, if you win MVP,
He sees a championship.
season, I feel like you're. I want.
Other than D Rose, all the MVPs are going to be Hall of Famers.
Well,
I'm not saying D Rose isn't a Hall of Famer. He's the only one who's thought of not who might have a chance not to.
Because when I think of MVP, I think of obviously if you're the MVP, you're the best in the league. The recognition, like all the guys that have been MVPs, like they're most likely like gonna be Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
so it's just like maybe Derrick Rose is like a question mark, but I mean.
Would you say?
Wise, I wouldn't argue. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if he does make.
Would you say Jokic is the best Nugget of all time? I would probably say yes. Honestly, I think you think of Melo, Alex English. There's other guys.
Oof.
Honestly,
you're gonna have a lot of Melo fans really mad at you.
I'm a Melo fan myself, so.
Yeah, sure.
But I mean, he's done more for that franchise than.
Yeah, he has.
I'd probably say so.
I'm trying to think of just even guys from. Yeah,
I mean, AI was at the back end of his career. So I would say probably yes. I don't know, man. I'm trying to think. Who else are they? Like, I don't know, man. It's tough because they have a good players, but they've nobody who's really got them over the hump. And I think Jokic is going to be that guy.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, dude, I think Jokic is the best Nugget of all time.
I'm trying to look right now. Hold
They
on.
had Mutombo at the end of his career too.
Yeah,
David Thompson.
I'm like kind of like zoning in because I'm like one thing just to kind of bring up. I don't mean to intrude on your Nikolai Jokic, but Nikolai Jokic is already 5th in all-time points on the Nuggets.
Yeah,
5th. He's already
exactly.
5th. He's about to pass David Thompson. Then he's going to be close to Melo and then Issel and England. Dang, now I'm looking at these players. He actually might already be.
I think he is. I think
Mutombo was on their team.
I would take him over Mutombo. Like overall, I think hands down he's a better player.
You know, it's so funny that you brought that up though. I saw somebody bring this up on I think it's called a Player's Choice podcast.
Yeah.
They said, I think one of them said, Nikolai Jokic might be the greatest offensive center ever. And I was like,
offensively, considering it put all things together,
all things together.
considered,
So like he's like
all around.
Offensive.
I can't think of a center who's done what he's done. Exactly. I probably agree.
Yeah, I might agree too.
Like offensively, I don't think he's the best center of all time. Like
no.
The only one I'm thinking of maybe Kareem. I mean, Kareem had the most unstoppable move of all time,
and he scored the most points all time.
Yeah,
so yeah, I would say him.
I don't think he's over Kareem yet. I don't think he's over.
No. Okay, so it's not even that I agree with that. I would say maybe at this point, how good he's done. He's already won 2 MVPs. He's literally about to probably win 3. He wins that. I feel like right now at this point, he's more than top 10 offensive centers of all time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I would maybe put him in the top 5.
Like just offensively centers?
Just off.
Like, okay, I see what you're saying.
I'm not saying, I hope nobody takes this out of proportion and says, oh, he's saying Nikolai Jokic is a great center. I'm not saying he's the greatest center of all time.
At the end of his career, he very much could be.
He very much could be
but
at the end of his career.
Living in the present, I get that,
like, just offense, just on the offensive end, that dude is doing things that I don't think I've ever really seen. And, you know, people are going to be like, oh, well, you weren't alive during back in the day. Obviously, I wasn't. But I don't know all other centers that were doing what he's doing. Like, just think he's putting it all together where it's like he can drop 50 just by himself if he wants to. And he knows he can.
Yeah.
And he could drop a 50-point triple-double.
But that, as I said, as I showed before, like he makes his teammates better. It's not like he's like
so much
these
better.
guys were like he needs the basketball in his hand 100% of the game. Like he just gets everyone around him better. Yeah. And Murray's coming off that big injury, and Murray's obviously been up and down a little just because he's had that injury. But like it takes a lot of load off Jamal Murray come crunch time when you got a guy like Jokic. And I think that team.
Playoff Murray.
Playoff Murray, yeah. Bubble Murray, he had 50 points that one game.
That little.
That little like that layup, man.
I was like,
Michael's like jumping out of his seat right now, man. Yeah.
I just remember seeing him do that. I was just like, who is this guy?
Dude.
I was like, is this Michael Jordan?
Crazy,
I was like, this
man.
is Michael Jordan. We're seeing Michael Jordan in the flesh right now. That's not Jamal Murray. But yeah, no, with that whole talk with Nikolai Jokic, man, he's doing things that like, it's just crazy because it's like I think it's just the way, and I don't even mean to make this seem like that, but like I think it's just the way he is and the way like he kind of like looks. Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't even think, oh, he's gonna take this guy to this guy, really?
And he's just carrying
and
them,
he
man.
just dogs everybody. Like he just dogs everybody. Like he's out here hitting these crazy. Like it's crazy. Like I've seen jump shots where somebody's in his face and he just lets it go, drains it.
When you're 7 feet, you can't stop that. You can't.
When you especially how he shoots, he kind of like puts it behind his head and just like lets it go up top. So it's like you can't even try to block it.
I got to give it to Mr. Core, man. Mr. Core said that his picker, the Nuggets win the finals or make it to the finals and he said that before they went on that big run. And obviously the West is going to be crazy when it finishes, but I mean Jokic, man, he's been it's scary, man. Like I can't believe I used to think like no disrespect to Joel Embiid, but like I didn't know who was better between two, but like I mean it's hands down Jokic, I think.
Yeah, no, Jokic is definitely killing it. And even just if we could segue into this, just talking about like how with all the games going on and MVP voting or not even MVP voting, I meant more All-Star voting, but more just MVP talk and stuff like that. We got to get into these mid-season things, man. If we check the mid-season media surveys, if anyone ever wants to check this out, you can go to NBA.com, and it's all right here. It's right on the front page on the right panel. You see NBA mid-season media survey, but I want to go into this because I see some very interesting things, and it's probably things that we've kind of already talked about throughout the podcast today and the episode today. But I mean, we have things like right the media survey. There was a question: who will win the 2023 NBA Finals? 57% of people voted Boston. 30% to Milwaukee, and 10% to Brooklyn, and then 3% to the Clippers.
I don't think the Clippers are top 4.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm putting the Pelicans top 4, but that was because they're my prediction. I would put Denver over the Clippers.
Yeah, that's just so crazy. They don't even have a West team. They're saying what?
So they're saying the Clippers are going to win the West? Nah, there's no way.
So they say Clippers win the West, and then they lose to Boston, Milwaukee, or Brooklyn in the NBA Finals.
I mean,
whoa.
Yeah, I would put the Nuggets over them. I mean, you could argue the Grizzlies as well. Definitely could argue the Grizzlies.
Oh, yeah, true.
I don't think the Clippers are the best team. I would put the Warriors up there too.
That's true.
I think like playoff time, man. I'm sorry, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm not saying the Warriors are going to go back to back, but I don't know who can beat the Warriors 4 times in 7 games.
That's true.
You have to play your best brand of basketball if you want to do that. But yeah, that's interesting, man. I think it's interesting is that there's 3 East teams. Like that's interesting to me.
That's an interesting thing to me too, Gro. I'm just like, but I mean, I can't really argue against those teams because I mean, obviously the teams that Boston is probably the best team in the NBA still. Milwaukee is still like a team.
Yeah,
like,
the Bucks are still gonna be up there. Yeah.
So it's just like and then Brooklyn, obviously, especially recently, they're probably the best performing team right now because they've won 6-7 straight and they've been doing their thing. So I can't argue against those 3, but that Clippers one is like iffy because you're just like, so the Nuggets aren't good.
But then also, no, for sure. And then looking at what has been the best game of the season, I don't know how Mitchell's 71-point performance isn't number 2. I think that's a little slap in the face.
Denver's overtime win against Phoenix.
I'm not even going to talk about the first one.
Wasn't that though Nikolai Jokic though? Like, didn't he have like a 40 point triple double to that game?
Yeah, but I think they're not talking about. They're just talking about Denver as a whole. I don't know. I mean, it's not that bad. I guess.
That's true.
But
I kind of do agree with the first one. I would probably.
I don't want to talk about the first one. You feel me? Against the Knicks.
I know. I agree with the fact that it's been the best game so far because that game was very close and very.
The next one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he had 60 and 20 and 10 assists. No, 100%.
Exactly. So I feel like that definitely has been the best game of the season so far. I probably have to go back in that Denver's overtime game against Phoenix on Christmas Day. But yeah, I would maybe put Donovan Mitchell's at 2.
I put Mitchell at 2. And just to play at the end, again, I know they ref said they shouldn't have counted, but he did make that insane play of scoring, of getting that put back to force overtime. I don't care what the refs say. At the end of the day, it counted, so I'm going to count it.
Well, shoot, it's the best play of the season. You have the best game, but the best play of the season is Luka Doncic. I'm not going to read it all, but that's what happened. And then you have Oh yeah, Aaron Gordon's and one dunk over Landry Shamet.
Yeah, I don't like putting dunks. I'm not a big like dunks are impressive, but no, don't get me wrong, they're insane. But I don't know. I don't think dunking is a basketball play. Like it's your athletic. Like I like seeing the stuff where like Kyrie does, where like they really have to like. I find that way more impressive. That Kevin Durant crossover on Daniel Gafford, he touched earth, nice. Bro. He was in another unit. That was crazy.
I do like the De'Aaron Fox half court game whenever it's sort of like
the Magic, man. I was watching that game live.
Up from the logo and just Dre, I was like, oh.
I was also watching the AJ Griffin game winner against that putback he had against
right. But that was just a good play up.
Like, and Trae Young put it in the perfect spot.
Perfect spot.
Oh yeah, let me ask you this, Michael. So the most surprising storyline. What's the most surprising thing to you?
Most surprising?
Yeah.
Most surprising. Well, are you just asking that question?
Like, what do you think? Like, do you agree? Do you disagree?
Oh, okay. No, yeah. Because I was gonna say, I agree with it. Brooklyn's bounce back.
I don't think that's the most impressive, though.
I don't think it's the most impressive, but it's the most surprising because they were talked about like the most, but they were talked about how bad they were possibly going to be because of all this drama, and now they're number 2 in the East.
I mean, the most surprising to me, this is just my thing, was just how well Mitchell's playing in Cleveland, like how well that is. That's my personal thing, but I guess the general consensus, I don't think it's terrible. I honestly, I might take Sacramento's over Brooklyn though.
That's fair. Yeah,
because I think before the season started, I think there's way more of a chance the Nets would be a 2 seed in the East and the Kings be a 5 seed in the West.
Yeah.
So
I would probably even put surprising at. I'd probably put it as surprising as maybe the Indiana start.
Yeah.
Because we didn't think they were going to be good.
People are saying on the radio that, I don't want to throw any names out there, but they thought Indiana was the worst team in the league. And I will say, I'm not trying to act like I knew it. I could tell the future. I said the Pacers were going to be a playoff team. But, no, I agree, though. In the general consensus, 100%. Also, yeah, I would say Chicago, I know they're talking about Lonzo Ball here, but I think Chicago being as strong as much as they are is surprising to me. I think that might be one of the most surprising things. They were a playoff team last year. At one point, they were one of the best teams in the East in the regular season last year. And this year, they're on the outside looking in. To me, honestly, it might be Chicago. I thought Chicago, they brought back the same guys. It might be Chicago to me. I would put Chicago, I think it's definitely top 4.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I mean, there hasn't been, like, surprising crazy stories. Like, I mean, obviously, there's been teams that we are not used to, like the Pacers and the Kings doing very, very well.
Yeah.
But it's just like now when you look at those teams, you're like, okay, it's not that you should be good. It's just like you have De'Aaron Fox, you have DeMontis Sabonis.
Yeah.
And then on the Pacers, you have,
Halliburton.
But to be honest, I don't think people expected Halliburton to be this good now. But you still have like Buddy Hield, Miles Turner,
Mathurin,
and stuff like that. Because then it's crazy that you said Nembhard, because I'm about to look at his stats because I'm kind of confused about this because they're kind of putting him over my boy Mathurin. But
for rookie of the year?
No. They said the question is which rookie has been the biggest steal related to where he was selected in 2022 draft, and number 1 people said, or the media survey was Nembhard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Number 2 is Walker Kessler from Utah, which I kind of understand. I watched some of him, but I feel like he doesn't do so much. But
I'm glad they brought this up. I wanted to talk about this. I'm not saying Jaden Hardy is the biggest steal, but Jaden Hardy, the Mavericks need to unleash that guy. The last 3 games, he's averaging 13 and 21 minutes. But like he's had so many games where he's putting up like 15 minutes in obviously the bench players and whatever, but that's still impressive. The Mavericks need to play Jaden Hardy a lot more, and I'm glad they put him on here.
They put him as receiving votes.
Biggest steal, I think, in terms of where players are drafted.
I mean, number 31, isn't that? Oh no, that's the last.
That's the first pick of the second round.
So 31 is the first. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I don't think that's terrible. My biggest steal, I think, long term is going to be Jaden Hardy. I think that's going to be the big steal. Hardy? That's what I think.
For me, it's probably it probably is. No,
I think in terms of where they're drafted, I probably agree with Nembhard.
I mean,
in terms of like, if you're going to redraft, he'd be a lot higher than 31. And like Mathurin,
Okay, see, I was confusing the question in my head because I'm a big Mathurin fan, so I'm like, you put him over Mathurin, are you crazy? But I'm like, where he was selected, it's like, okay, Mathurin was a number 6 year lottery pick, so you're expected to be good, or like your potential is good and stuff like that. Like, not saying Nembhard's potential is not good, or even Jaden Hardy, or even all these guys that have been getting the recognition. Their potentials, I'm not saying their potentials are bad, but it's just like, you know, if you're number 6 pick in the league, you're expected of something. So I agree with it now when I think about it. Walker Kessler now when I think about it probably is a good close number 2.
Yeah, but the same with Kessler. Kessler does not play nearly as much as he should.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're on a team like that,
yeah, they have a bunch of guys who play. Like, they have a big rotation. I get it, and like that's probably what makes them as they're a steal because they're making the most of their opportunity in that sense. True. So yeah, that makes sense. And then looking at the awards, I mean, I'd probably put Jokic over Doncic right now.
Yeah,
I see what they're saying. Though. If we're thinking at the end of the season, maybe it's Doncic. But if the Nuggets are the number 1 seed and Jokic continues this, I think you have to give it to Jokic.
Oh, yeah, you have to.
It's close.
I feel like you have to, especially how good he's been doing, especially, like, even till now, like, we didn't even think Nuggets we weren't even talking about the Nuggets.
No.
We were just like, oh, there's Nuggets.
Like they're the 4 or 5 seed.
Like, we're like, it's whatever. They're doing good, but then now they're, like, number 1 in the West. Jokic is literally killing everybody.
He's better than his both MVPs. He's better than the 2 years he got MVP, he's arguably better than those years.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He already is. I mean, like, yeah. It's crazy. Like I saw a little picture of that, like a little edit of Nikola Jokic in his last like 3 seasons, and he's performed way better than the last 2, and he won MVP. So
yeah,
it's pretty crazy. But I mean, I see why they picked Doncic, but I'd
give Jokic it right now.
I'd give it Jokic right now. Rookie of the year.
I thought it was Paulo.
Yeah, it's Paulo.
And to be fair, Mathurin is on a better team.
Yeah.
Not knock on Paulo, but Paulo's doing Paulo's doing everything because he has to for that team. I mean, Mathurin is doing he's doing great things, but he doesn't have to do as much as Paulo. Because he's just on a better team, you know. So it's definitely shout out to Mathurin though. Any other year he might win Rookie of the Year.
That's true. No, I like it. I mean, Paulo. The other day they put out a stat that he was like 6th, 7th straight game.
Yeah, he's gonna be
like 25 points or more. So it's just like Paulo is just another just crazy.
He's got it, bro. He's gonna be good. I hope the Magic I think they're obviously going through a rebuild. I think they have a pretty interesting team. I think they're going towards the right way of playing positionless basketball. I hope the Magic build a really good team around him because they can be very scary. Yeah, and if they got Victor Wembanyama, man, the league might just shut down. True. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like the next 2. I don't like the next 2.
You don't like the next 2. See, I knew you liked the other one. But the defensive player of the year, I'm kind of confused.
Yeah,
I don't.
I think OG's got to be up there.
Who are these media survey people? Does it say at the bottom? Because are they watching? Because the fact that Nick Claxton's been consistently in the top 5, top 3.
I think
per game.
Make an argument for Bam. I would take Jared Allen over Brook Lopez. Allen's the best defensive player on the best defensive team.
But so is Brook Lopez. The Bucks are like one of the top defensive.
You think he's a better defender than Giannis?
Well, no, but I mean, I don't think he's better defensively overall. But he leads the league. Him and Claxton are tied for number 1 in blocks per game. So I can see why
I think that shows why is Claxton not on there. And the Nets are number 2 in the East. They're literally better than the Bucks, record wise.
So
and then 6th man of the year, man. I'm about to punch my laptop, Mike. I'm about to punch my laptop. How is Russ is gonna get Russ? The fact that he's not top 3 is crazy to me. He should be number 1.
Special consideration is what he just got. Oh,
can I take a second here, Michael?
Bad.
Michael, how is Russell Westbrook not number? How is he not top 3?
I don't know.
I'm not just talking about the numbers. He's actually contributing to the Lakers turning their season around. Like, they're winning games, and Russell Westbrook has been a very important part of that. I will not stand for the Russell Westbrook slander.
I can see the Brogdon one, though.
I don't think Poole is a 6-man, though? Like, he's a 6-man, but, like...
He is. Well, right now he's considered a 6-man because he hasn't...
Yeah, he's been on the bench. Yeah. I don't hate it. I'm taking Russ. As a 6-man, I'm thinking Russ is having a better season.
If I had to switch this up and pick 3 guys just off of, like, 6-man of the year right now for performances... I would have to look at the stats and, like, look into games, but I might put... I'm sorry, but that's just because they're doing so well, and he is a 6-man on the team. Brogdon is doing very well for their team, and I would probably put him number 1 because their team is the best one. But then right behind him, I would probably put Russ, and then 3 would probably have to for me.
Probably Mathurin.
I don't know.
I would probably have Russ.
I would probably put Poole over Mathurin too.
I would probably have Russ then Poole. The only thing about Poole is consistency, but and also considering
that's the thing though. I think Brogdon's consistent.
He is consistent.
He's just consistent. But he doesn't put up numbers like how.
And he doesn't have to. Respectively, he doesn't have. I would probably put Russ 1. I would put Poole 2, and Brogdon 3. Yeah, and then Mathurin right behind him.
I agree. I agree, but I mean, a lot of this vote. That's just weird. I mean, they really put. That's crazy. They even put Christian Wood tied third.
Wood over Russ. I don't agree with that. I think Wood should start. Honestly, the Mavericks are a much better team when Christian Wood starts. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Jason Kidd knows more than I do in terms of his team personnel, but and then looking at the MIP, Mike, I'd give it to Shea. I give it to Shea. I think Shea. If I need a player to get a bucket in crunch time, I'm giving it to Shea. And I'm not saying that's why I should be. I give it to Shea.
I agree with that, but I already told you I've liked Shea, SGA, and I know that he was a good player last year. I definitely think he's leveled up from last year, but when I talk about leveling up, Lauri Markkanen has definitely leveled up more than what he's been in the past.
That's fair.
2 teams he's been on.
I don't know.
Because you get drafted by the Bulls, you're supposed to be a high.
I think 20% is wild, though. That's a 20% difference.
I could agree. Yeah, I can agree with that. It's a big little margin, but
I think Lauri would get it. Lauri will get it 100%. I think. I mean, in terms of who improved the most, yes, it is definitely marketing. I think at the end of the season, I think it will be Shea.
You see the dunk yesterday?
Yeah, no, that's true. He put up 49 a week ago, roughly. Again.
Shea has but Shea is great, but like Shea's already great.
No, that's fair. Yeah, but like also the same thing happened to Ja, when Ja got most improved. Like, Desmond Bane, that was year Jordan Poole really made that step. Like they gave it to the guy, like he was a number 2 overall pick, and he made a leap. But like I don't think he deserved most improved because he's kind of similar to Shea. He was already great, but they still gave it to Ja. I'm not saying that's why I think Shea should get it.
Give the award to Desmond Bane?
What?
Didn't he give the award?
Well, yeah, but still technically Ja got it.
I know.
Even Ja knew though.
Yeah, even Ja knew.
In terms of who improved the most, if you're talking about MIP, who improved the most? Lauri. But in terms of the NBA is so inconsistent with that stuff. That's the one thing I'm just not a fan of. Like they do with like defensive player of the year, like Marc Gasol was second team all defense, but got defensive player of the year over LeBron. Didn't make sense to me.
Sure.
But yeah, no, I think that NBA, the way NBA did it last year, it technically should be Shea. But in terms of who improved the most, definitely Lauri this year. And then
Hold on, I was looking at this one thing, but if you scroll down a little bit, they agree with you. The best shooting guard in the season this year.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, 62%. Next is Devin Booker with 17%.
Let's look at that. Best point guard. Yeah, I agree with Tyrese top 4.
Oh yeah, best point guard this year.
Because I would say I don't disagree. Dame hasn't played.
Yeah, Dame hasn't.
I mean, I think if Kyrie played the whole season, Kyrie would be up there.
Most likely.
But shooting guard, why do I not see? They have Shea under shooting guard, Mike.
They do, but I just looked up. That's another thing, but that's the reason why I was like looking at another page. They have him as a point guard.
And then they have Ja as shooting guard. Like, what? How is Ja shooting guard? Like, if you look at the midseason report.
Oh, yeah, they do. And they have Jason Tatum. Look, they have Jason Tatum right there as shooting guard, too. But then they have him number 1. This is a weird media survey.
That's crazy.
Midseason report thing on NBA.com.
I would.
It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know why Tatum's there. I'm not even going to.
Look, they have best point guard in the league, Luka Doncic. But then if you go down to best small forward this season, also receiving votes.
Yeah, that's so weird to me.
What?
Shooting guard. Okay, I'm not even going to count Tatum because he's not a shooting guard. I agree. I would put Mitchell, then Shea, then D-Book.
Shea, then D-Book.
Then Jaylen Brown. Those are my top shooting guards.
I'd go Donovan
this season.
Mitchell, D-Book, and...
You put D-Book over Shea? I would put Shea, too.
I don't know if I see Shea as a shooting guard.
Well...
That's the thing, because he doesn't play like a...
But that's the thing. I'm saying in terms of this, though.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, but also you got to remember, like... If Shea was a point guard, I think they would have him over Tyrese.
Oh yeah.
So I think in terms of this though,
look at this. Look at their starting lineup. What does it have under Shea? PG. Because then
Yeah.
Josh Giddey's their other guard.
Yeah.
Dora's their
I-
other forward.
yeah.
Jalen Williams at power forward, and then Eugene.
Oh, RU. Put an RU, yeah. Okay. I don't know. And then best small forward. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we know KD's hurt, but yeah, Tatum's been the guy this year.
Yeah.
LeBron number 3. I know LeBron's been going crazy recently. He has.
Yes, yeah.
Power forward. Wow. Whoa. Oh yeah. If they have Jokic at center, I agree. Wow. They don't even have receiving votes. It's all Jokic and Embiid.
Yeah, I mean they even have Jokic and power forward, so I don't know. It's
Yeah.
weird what
The
they
best-
whoever was
Yeah.
doing this.
Honestly,
Best
I don't think
shooter in
Klay
the
Thompson's
league?
the second best shooting. This
Oh.
season, he's not the second best shooter.
That is weird. Why they have?
I would put-
Utah Watanabe.
I put
Even though he is number one.
I would put Hield over Klay this year.
Would. I mean, but has Hield scored 50 points this season yet?
But I'm thinking consistently.
Consistently, true. I get it, but
no,
I mean,
yeah.
that's a dumb question though. Who's
But
the
it's
best shooter in
weird.
the league? Who do
And
you think
how?
is gonna
But
be
then how is Luka number 1? If they're talking about who's the best international player in the league this year, Luka's number 1 in MVP, but number 3 international. It doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, that is. What?
Best passer in the league?
Yo, this is weird.
Chris Paul. How is Chris Paul's not a top 3 passer this season?
Yeah, no, I don't know what the heck. Best rebounder in the league is a bonus. Adams. Yeah, Adams. I saw a crazy stat about Adams rebounding in the last week or two, and it's insane.
Yeah.
Dude's been. I love Steven Adams. I've always liked Steven Adams. He's a good. He's a cool guy.
No, yeah.
I love him.
That's funny though.
Ooh, I kept scrolling down. I got to the coaches.
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
Eric Spo got number 2.
Yeah.
Which head coach makes the best in-game adjustments? Tyronn Lue got number 1.
I would have to put Jacques Vaughn up there. But
Yeah, but he doesn't even get any recognition. He's not even in
yeah. I don't know how Nick Nurse, a coach who's below 500, is up there over him. I would
after timeout plays. I like that. Steve Kerr.
Yeah, definitely Kerr.
Oh, yeah,
definitely
most
Kerr.
definitely. Oh, yes, Rick Carlisle. Rick
Carlisle.
in Indiana for sure. Dallas. Oh, yeah, of course, Jason Kidd.
Missoula, the most positive impact, I would probably go Vaughn. Because nothing against Joe Missoula, but Boston did the same thing they were doing with, Brooklyn went up.
Yeah.
Boston's the same, maybe a little better, but I'd probably give it to Vaughn. And Will Hardy, I mean, he's doing a good job. They're just struggling as of late.
Yeah.
Mike Brown, I think I'll put Mike Brown up there. Wow. I would probably put Mike Brown 3. Maybe even over Missoula in terms of positive impact.
Yeah, it is weird. Will Hart, I could see the Will
But
Hardy one.
I mean, if you're just looking at the season as a whole, I don't think Hardy's top 3.
Yeah. I would say he's behind Mike Brown. I would say he's behind. I would go Missoula, then Vaughn, then Mike Brown, then Will Hardy, and then I'd go Darvin
Yeah.
Ham with the Lakers.
I'd probably,
But that's just
yeah.
because of
I'd-
ranking wise.
If it was my rankings, I would go Vaughn 1, Mike Brown 2, Joe Missoula 3. In terms of positive impact, when the coach came in, how he changed the landscape of that team, I think Vaughn has. I think in my eyes, he's 1. Also, we don't know what's going to happen with Katie being out.
Yeah. I do.
Which
we said I don't even.
Whoa.
I'm not laughing at you. Keep scrolling down.
yeah,
Look at that. Which active?
Garrett Temple, I would say LeBron. Why is LeBron
They're
not up
already
there?
writing off Chris Paul. They already said,
That's
"Yo,
crazy."
You're done. Go coach.
I would definitely put Draymond up there. I don't know where Garrett Temple came from though.
I mean, he's Garrett. I know why they say Garrett Temple because Garrett Temple's been in the league for a long time.
Where's Udonis Haslam, man? Oh, he's up there. He's down there. He's down there.
He's got it, but he doesn't need to be. I mean, he could be a head coach. He could be.
Or he could just be on the Heat until he's
Or he could be on
86.
the Heat. Yeah. You know what? Hey. Hey, we already slandered him last episode. We don't need no more slander. They even put Kyle Lowry, too.
Yeah, I'm looking at who's the most underrated player in the league. Underrated wise, if it's my question, who's the most underrated? I'd probably go Anthony Simons.
I'd go. Hold on. Was underrated? Okay, Tyrese Halliburton.
Actually, no. I'll take that. I'd put Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's I think Jaylen Brown's the most underrated player in the league. I think Jaylen Brown does not get enough recognition as he should.
I'm looking at these guys and I'm trying to think of how they're performing. And like, I can't. When I think of underrated, I think of just guys that you don't think about and they like do well. Like SGA. When I think of SGA, like
I don't think he's underrated anymore though.
I don't think he's underrated. I think he's just he's
he's where he should be.
Him. Like,
yeah.
Like not even acting like saying he's like the best in the NBA, but like he's amongst the best in like
yeah.
SGA. I don't think he's like. I think he's underrated where like he probably doesn't get the recognition, but like obviously you're in OKC, you're not doing well, so obviously you're not. The Tyrese Halliburton one, I wouldn't say he's
don't think he's the most
but
underrated
he's nowhere
player.
close to being overrated.
No, yeah. I think he's where he should be.
Yeah, like because he's still climbing, he's still young.
Yeah, I mean, my personal most underrated player, I will say, as I said before, I think it's Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown. Okay, yeah. I can agree with that one. To me, out of all this, and this might make it seem like I'm a homer, but
Jimmy?
No, Bam.
Bam. Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, like because I mean
I think you can make an argument for Brunson too.
Brunson too, you can make it. Yeah, I like the Brunson one, the underrated. I mean, you could. It's kind of crazy that they put him in consideration, but like most underrated player, I mean, he's been great. Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah.
And he's in special consideration. He's also receiving votes. He's not even top 3. Also receiving votes. It's a special consideration. It's Lauri Markkanen. Like, I put Lauri Markkanen up there too because I do like the bonus one. I do like that because he is doing well on the Sacramento case. I do like that one, but it is a little confusing because sometimes I look at underrated like as like, all right, is this a guy that we're not paying attention to or a guy? But then yet again, I think that is different views because like. You know, some people can be like, "Oh yeah, SGA is underrated because he's doing so well, and like nobody really watches him, or no one really like because he's in OKC stuff like that." But like for me, I'm like, I like SGA. I generally watch SGA because he's such a good player, and I would go to OKC game for anything just to go see SGA play. So it's just like maybe to everyone else, I would say yes, SGA is underrated. But I think him and Halliburton are like where they're supposed to be.
Yeah,
like, they're obviously like the best players, but like. Bam is like right now. The reason why I say Bam is because like he's performing well and no one's saying anything.
No, yeah,
like, they're not
totally.
giving any recognition to the.
I think it's I think it's
whatever.
similar to Jaylen Brown. The reason I think Jaylen Brown's the most underrated player in the league is because I don't want to say he's playing in Tatum's shadow, but Tatum does always get most of the attention as he should.
Sure.
But Jaylen Brown in the finals was that guy because Tatum did not play well in the finals, and then also. We can play the what if scenario all day, but I think if you put Jaylen Brown on his team where he's not second fiddle, he's going to put up even better numbers, and he's still averaging like 26 a game as a second guy. And you could also make the argument. I know, Tatum gets most of the attention, so it gives Brown more of an opportunity to do what he can do. But I don't think Brown's going to get the credit he can deserve as long as he's playing with Tatum, just because Tatum's that guy. Tatum's top 4 in MVP race this year, so that's why I think. Jaylen Brown is the most underrated player in the league.
No, I agree.
And from his rookie year where he could not make a free throw or a three-pointer to now where you can't let him shoot. I remember, I shouldn't say rookie year, but his summer league. I remember watching the summer league when he was a rookie, and he was pretty bad. And just to see that leap he took, I'm like, wow, he really, he's that guy. I think they're going to – obviously Boston's going to go as far as Tatum and Brown can take them, but Brown is just as important to that team as Tatum. And they're just as important to each other in terms of how they play. So that's why I think Jaylen Brown's the most underrated player in the NBA.
There you go. I agree. I mean, I get it. I agree, but I don't know if I would. I mean, I'd probably put him in Bam.
Yeah, I agree with that. Bam. You saw. I don't know how Bam's not top 3 in defensive player. Definitely top 5.
I'd say top 5 at least, maybe top 10. But I mean, when it came to defensive, it was just crazy to see
But my logic though for defensive is probably different than the average NBA fan. 'Cause when I think the best defensive player, I'm thinking who's guarding the best player on the other team, who's guarding 1 through 5. Who. It's not just who's putting up the best stats. I think whoever's you're guarding Kevin Durant. He averages 30, but if you hold him to 25, 20, you got to get credit for that. That's how I look at it. It's different. I know a lot of it's based on stats. There's a million games every night, so not everyone watches everyone play. But with the way I look at it, I think whoever's guarding the best player or whoever defensive players are helping them win games. It's not just about the stats. That's why I think Bam, because Bam can really guard all 5 positions.
Yeah.
And for a guy who's 6'8", he's a very good rim protector as well. I remember that. I always think of the play in the bubble where he blocked Tatum on that dunk, which ultimately led to him winning that game.
Yeah, I did. No, it was. Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird because cause see right there, like the way they do this. Since we were just talking about underrated, I'd put Nick Claxton is probably one of the most underrated defensive players in the league. Then because dude, you're leading the league and you're on a team that like no one probably cares about. Like I'm not gonna say nobody cares about you, but like no one thinks of Nick Claxton when you think of the Nets.
Because you just think of the Nets, you think of Simmons, not
Simmons, Kyrie,
and KD.
I'm pretty sure you'd think maybe somebody else
Curry.
before. Yeah, you think Seth Curry or Patty Mills before you go Nick Claxton.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey man, that the Nets think that's their guy, and as they should. I mean, he's living up to that, man.
He's good. I think he's a good bet. I like Nick Claxton.
He just does what he has to do because he's
actually, funny little side story. I actually played Nick Claxton in the 2K.
Wait, what?
I played Nick Claxton in 2K. I played him in a rec game.
Oh, like
joined
and it showed that like the verified.
And it showed he was verified. He was guarding me. He was playing. He was playing center. Obviously, he made it just a regular center. I had my center. I played against him.
How'd it go, man?
I killed him.
You killed him?
Yeah.
Destroyed him?
Killed him. I destroyed it. I mean, I can't really recall like playing so like crazy like the game specifically.
Yeah.
But I know I played well. I know I always play well and like on my little rec center games, especially when it was just funny though. It's like the reason why I know Nick Claxton is literally just because of that.
That's crazy.
Like I just remember joining a game and then seeing like I just remember like in 2K where they kind of meet at the center of the court and then like it shows like this stuff. I saw the thing pop up and I was like, holy crud, and it literally said Nick Claxton or something like that, and I literally just went to the thing. I was like, this is a Nets player. I was like, this is Nicholas Claxton on the Nets. I was like, what in the world? I just played against him.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I played with that happened to me. I forget he played for the Nets. He was a guard. He didn't play a lot. His name started with an S. That wasn't.
There was another guy. I think it was old. Do you ever remember a guy by the name of Jarnell Stokes?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I played against him one time in 2K, and like him and I actually went on a run where he.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Who'd you get?
It was Sean Kilpatrick.
You played Sean? I love Sean
Kilpatrick. He went from Cincy. Yeah, I think he went to Cincy.
Yeah, he went
that
to
was the guy. Yes.
I know him.
Yes.
So my oldest sister's boyfriend, he went to UC and actually knows. Sean
went to
Kilpatrick. Like
really,
like not. I don't know if they're close, but he said he's actually talked to him. And he's actually a cool guy.
Hey, that's great. I got to give a shout out to NJ Orta because we both were playing 2K and we saw his thing, and it was Sean Kilpatrick, and that's when he was in the NBA when this happened.
That's so crazy.
That's
so funny.
I mean, he was a dog in college, man. Bro was crazy.
Oh yeah, Sean Kilpatrick was nuts.
Yeah,
he started. There was one little thing he did pretty good for the Nets.
Yeah, he had a good stretch. It just didn't work out long term. But hey, shout out to Sean Kilpatrick. That's a name.
Shout out to Sean Kilpatrick.
I'm looking at this.
Shout out to Nick Claxton, man. Hey, if you ever listen to this in your life, man, I'm sorry if I beat you so bad. 2K. You probably weren't paying attention. You probably were busy. You're just trying to play. Have some off time. From practicing, but
Mike. Just looking at, not to go off topic, but looking at that roster this year with Sean Kilpatrick, it has those names we'll do that we'll be like, we forgot about those guys.
Yeah.
Quincy Acey. This is a team with Anthony Bennett, Trevor Booker, Yogi Ferrell, Randy Foy, Archie Goodwin, Rondé Hollis Jefferson, Jeremy Lin, obviously no. Remember Louis Scola?
I do remember Louis Scola.
And then Gravis Vasquez.
I remember when he played on the Rockets with Nene.
Yeah, Nene, that's a good one. Yeah, those guys, man.
Nene was a beast.
In Denver, man.
Denver, yeah.
Kenneth Faried, too. Remember Kenneth Faried?
Manimal.
Bro would get. He might have 0 points, but he will have 25 rebounds.
25 rebounds.
Crazy, man.
That's.
Shout out to those guys. Shout out to the 2016, 2017 Brooklyn Nets, man. They got so many guys. I'm like, wow. Yogi Ferrell was my favorite college player. I grew up kind of like an IU fan.
Yeah, played at Indiana. Yeah.
He played with Cody Zeller, and then Oladipo came after
your
that.
Family, your dad shouted out Indiana last time.
Oh yeah, he was a big Bobby Knight fan growing up.
Yes, that's what he said. I remember.
Big IU fan. He didn't go to IU, but he was a big IU fan. Just enjoyed those teams like Isaiah Thomas.
Shoot, Bob Knight's probably one of the greatest coaches.
Yeah, for sure.
Basketball coaches
I just think of him throwing that chair.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Wow, man, that's a crazy roster, man. Like that's funny, man.
Well, I mean, just rounding it out, I mean, the league right now kind of closing this out. Just closing this out, we kind of get into other topics and stuff like that. But the league right now,
It's crazy,
It's
man.
a new year.
Yeah.
We came into the new year with a blast. We saw Donovan Mitchell score 71. Nikola Jokic is proving again that he should be MVP again. Luka Doncic is Luka Doncic. He's killing it. And then the Nets, man. I think the biggest story right now is just the Nets at the moment. Especially now that we have to see how they're going to go moving forward with KD being down and probably out for a month.
Yeah.
They did say they're going to look at back him in the next 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
there's a possibility he might be back in the next 2 weeks. But
Just don't rush him back. He's had some tough injuries.
yeah.
And they're going to be fine. They'll make the playoffs. So I'm not saying they should rest him for 10 years, 10 months, whatever.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I it's interesting to see how that's going to play out. But hey,
Exactly.
that was.
But besides all that, going into this midseason media survey, some of them were pretty interesting. Some of them we kind of were like, probably shouldn't be that way. But hey, everyone has their. That's what's so great about this world that we live in. A lot of people have their own different views,
sure, man.
different perspectives. But yeah, this was great.
Yeah,
And I
man.
mean, even just going into this was good. It's great to be back in the studio.
Dude, it's so much easier, man.
So much easier. We don't have to keep
making new Zooms.
making new Zooms
Also,
and doing stuff. And
I don't want to forget, should have said in the beginning of the episode, but I forgot. Make sure y'all follow our Instagram at hoopin.mb, and we are now live on TikTok. We had a couple videos posted, couple got 50,000 views roughly. At hoopin.mb there again. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Hoopin with Mike and Brian, and then follow our Twitter, Hoopin_MB. And we have a lot coming out. TikTok's on the way. And if anyone has anything that they'd like to hear from us, feel free to message our Instagram or leave comments wherever you guys want. And the 7 episodes in, man, the time's flying, man, and the only way's up. And 2023 is gonna be a big year for us, man.
big year, it's that Jordan year. It's that,
Yes,
I've been
sir.
messing around. I've been saying it's the LeBron year. So
Oh no, Jordan.
I've been trying to mess around with people, but I like to do it because I'm an Instagrator. I'm a little Patrick Beverly myself, so I'm like, oh, everyone's like, oh, I'm on my Jordan year. I'm like, I'm on my LeBron year. I don't know what you're talking about, but besides all that, yes, it is all up. Please tune into everything that we have.
Yeah.
We have more content coming out. I have a little surprise that I have in my hands at home that I told about Brian.
Oh yeah.
We do have some future endeavors that we want to do
man.
with some things,
Stay
but
tuned, man.
stay tuned, please, people. We love all the attention that we got on TikTok. We hit 40,000 views on our one video.
47,000.
47 now, getting close to 50,000. Still going. That's what's so great.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, TikTok. I used to bash TikTok so much because I thought it was just a kind of a little odd platform, but it's giving us some exposure.
And if you guys think we're crazy, arrogant, I got a lot of comments, man. People call me arrogant. Like, I'm not offended, man. It's all talk, man.
It is what it is.
We say how we feel. We say what we think, man. But I appreciate everyone who's hated on us, who's left comments, who's helped us, who's supported us. I appreciate it all, man. And I have nothing but respect for all you guys, man. And stay tuned, man. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, and just always remember to keep on hooping.